You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. I can't go with other boys. And don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say. And please, when I go out with you, don't put me on the stand. 'Cause you don't own me. Don't try to change me in any way. You don't own me. Don't tie me down 'cause I'll never stay. I don't tell you what to say. I don't tell you what to do. So just let me be myself. That's all I have to do. I'm young and I love to be young. I'm free and I love to be free. To live my life the way I want. To say and do whatever I please. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say. And please, when I go out with you, don't put me on display. I don't tell you what to say. Don't tell you what to do. So just let me be myself. That's all I ask of you. I'm young and I love to be young. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if a friend I know comes by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can't see the tears I feel I'm
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Did you see the title of this video? It's all Star Mama's fault that I just enjoyed a really yummy salmon dinner. So what do you think? Did you notice that other channels are hopping right on board? Women, no less, are hopping right on board. Isn't that sad? But I'll tell you something, I appreciate the time that we spent together last night when Kelly hopped right up on the panel and she gave all three of us, Star Mama, Mia, and myself, the most wonderful gift. That little cartoon mini video that helped us visualize, really, what might be going on deep inside of a certain someone who seems to be hurting very much. I actually think we should feel sorry for him. Because any man, any person, any human being with that much anger buried deep inside, they have to be hurting. And I think people who are hopping right on board, I think they're hurting too. So I think we should feel sorry for them too. It's a sad day, even in the world of YouTube. It's a sad day when there are so many psycho bullies lining up. It's a really sad day. But what a hilarious little cartoon Kelly gave us, right? That was actually fun to just get a good laugh going. I think that we should talk about moving day. I think we should talk about the photo that Mia found, or it was actually in a video that Mia noticed that Christopher Watt's wife looked very, very, very preggo in April of 2018. I think we should talk about that month in early 2016 when Christopher Watt's wife posted incessantly on social media that she was going up to the hospital on a daily basis in Indianapolis for a month. I think we should talk about the fact that Christopher Watt's wife told a lawyer that she was getting divorced. When was that again? In March of 2018. I think we should talk about the fact that Christopher Watt's wife told a hairstylist in early July of 2018 that she was getting divorced and looking forward to being single again. That was right at the very beginning of her 6-week hiatus, which in my opinion was the beginning of the separation, which would have led to their divorce. I do not believe that she would have just taken off for 6 weeks in the summer at all. I don't believe it at all. Unless she was planning on not returning to the house. I think they were already separated. I think a lot of people knew it too. I think that when Christopher Watts flew into North Carolina, that he was there to return with his children. I think that they probably discussed it before they had their, I'll call it separation, because they were separated. And I think that possibly the plan may have been for the girls actually to stay back in North Carolina with his parents. Think about it. The people who insist there was an open CPS case, they insist that the agency in North Carolina had to agree to monitor the case. Well, maybe the plan was for Christopher Watts to actually return to North Carolina. Maybe Ronnie and Cindy Watts asked their son if he wanted them to fly to Colorado to help. Why would two people working full-time, living far, far away, offer to get on a plane and fly out there to help? To help what? Well, I think they offered to help for moving day. I want you to think about something. Not too long after the tragedy occurred, there was a little bit of noise going on with supposedly one of the employees who was supposedly in the know where Christopher Watts worked, claiming that he was either going to be fired or he was quitting. There was something going on, that his last day was actually the Friday before the tragedy, which I don't even think he went to work that day. Well, that's kind of weird, because weren't we told that he was at work? Weren't we told that he was called and he was at work and he was going to get home, what, in 45 minutes or something? Or he was taking his sweet time or whatever. Again, I don't know anybody who would call somebody else's husband and say, get home. I don't know anybody's husband who'd say, okay. But there was a lot of talk going on not that long after the tragedy occurred that evidently somebody who was supposedly in the know, like I said, claimed that his last day of work was actually before the tragedy occurred. Well, that kind of puts a different twist on everything if he's got his truck in some video, doesn't it? Puts a whole new twist on everything. Betty seemed pretty alert in her interview, didn't she? She seemed pretty sharp. Did she mention anything at all about Christopher Watts leaving for work in a work truck? The reason given at the time for his, I guess, departure from his job was because he had to miss so much work in order to be with the children because, you know, of all the health challenges. Now think about this. Wasn't it before Christopher Watts' wife was escorted to North Carolina by her father that the couple was noticed up for a hearing because of unpaid HOA dues for a little over $1,500, which at the time it was $52 a month for the HOA dues. So that would tell me that, and you know, I'm no math midget, but I'm pretty sure, well, maybe I am a math midget. 1,500, well, 30 months times 52, right? 30, 50, 1,500. You go backing up 2.5 years, and where are you? You're at the bankruptcy. That tells me that somebody had a very strong aversion to paying HOA dues, or maybe paying bills. I don't know. But if this couple has an income, and we're told that Christopher Watts' wife, you know, made even more than he did, by a couple thousand at least, and they were noticed up for a hearing for $1,500 for unpaid HOA dues, wouldn't one of them have taken the time to hop in that leased vehicle and drive down and make sure those HOA dues were paid? I mean, they had an income. They were so successful, right? But they ignored it completely. The hearing was still scheduled. The hearing was still going to happen shortly after the tragedy occurred. Why? Well, let's go back to the moving day theory. If, by chance, he may have lost his job. Or, I don't know, maybe he had his final warning that if he missed another day, he was screwed. I don't know. But if he lost his job, could it be that he actually put in his notice already? Could it be that he was actually already planning to leave the job? Could it be that his summer fling was a summer fling? Sarah said, was the HOA $50 a week or $50 a month? It was $52 a month. And if I said $52 a week, I'm sorry. I just had a really yummy salmon dinner, and I could probably, I would say probably, most likely, go right to sleep right now because, man, that was good. Have you had your salmon this month, ladies? Have you had your salmon this week? Have you had your vitamin D today? I hope so. So think about this. if he was planning to leave his job, or if he had already left his job, or if he was soon to be fired from his job because of all the health challenges, then maybe right after moving day, he was going to be turning in that leased vehicle and heading to his parents' house with the kids. How do we know? We don't know. But I think it would kind of fit. I'm going to play another song just for a little bit. I'm going to put the link in. Anybody and everybody's welcome to hop up. Star Mama will be with us shortly. I'll let her share with you what she was up to. And I'm going to razz her big time, because had she not said the word salmon to me, I would not have had a salmon dinner. It's all her fault. You know, the hate channels are blaming her for everything, or blaming me and Star Mama and Mia for everything. So I thought it'd be cool to blame her for my salmon dinner that was so yummy. All right, Bassett Baby had salmon too. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to pick a song, any song. Let's see here what we have. Oh, somebody's face just popped up. Ew, creepy. Okay. I'm surprised his face was on there. Like, seriously, creepy. And his chat is absolutely full of hate. It is disgusting to see the crap that they're putting in there. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, here we go. I will be back shortly.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. Maybe I didn't treat you nights quite certain, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always been, with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't stand anymore. 'Cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Pleasing people, some hand in hand. Just what I'm going through, you can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you do want to be, you will be there. And I love you. Yes, I love you. Nights were set, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always been, with these eyes before. Just what Like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms, let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come, let me love you, come love me again. Let me give my life to you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me
All right. Perfect timing, Star Mama. Perfect timing. I'm going to stick a link right in the chat. There you go. Here's Star Mama. Ooh, Mia's here too. Mia. Let's get this party started. I agree with you guys in the chat. I don't think that was NK's giggle at all. Here's Star Mama.
Did somebody else try to come in or what? I heard you go, ooh.
What did I just say ooh for?
I don't know. You said here's Sarah Mom and I hadn't come in yet and you went, ooh.
They were talking in the chat that they didn't think that giggle was NK.
Oh.
They thought the giggle was NA. I think it may have been somebody from North Carolina.
Yeah, possibly.
I think it's possible that those cameras and everything were, I think it's possible that Christopher Watt's wife was getting, well, I think she was being watched and I think she might have been getting messed with.
Yeah, psychologically.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder, I'm just going to say what I think because it doesn't matter about our opinions anymore because it doesn't matter what we say, people don't like it. So it is what it is. And that's just the way I feel about it,
Did you see the title of the web chat, Star Mama?
Yes. Yeah.
I figured I would blame you because you're
Blame
getting
me.
blamed for so much. I figured I may as well just blame you for my salmon.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well,
Star
why
and I
not, man?
I was putting veggies in the pot, getting a pot of veggies boiling, and Star Mom was like, "What you having for dinner?" Well, of course, Star Mama is the star of a really nice cooking show, right? So I'm like, "Oh, I don't know how I want to talk food with Star Mama," but I went ahead and risked it, and I said chicken because chicken is what I eat a lot of. So I was so happy she didn't ask me exactly how I was cooking it because it would have been just like so embarrassing, right?
What'd you do? Boil it?
I'm intimidated by you. No, you said the word salmon. You said something like, "Oh, I thought you were going to have salmon," or "I thought you'd say salmon," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just going to bake it. That's just what I do. Pretty boring. I just bake it.
Well, but you eat a lot of salmon. That's why I just figured you was having salmon.
No, and as soon as you said salmon, I'm like, I really don't feel like making chicken. Because I told you how I didn't have lunch. I was going to go ahead and just get the veggies going and then, get that in the oven. And man, I was out the door and on my way to salmon.
Oh, were you?
As soon as we hung up, I was out the door and on my way to salmon. I thought, thanks a lot, Star Mama.
Sorry.
No, I'm so glad you said salmon because it was so good.
I bet. Sounds better to me than chicken anyway. I don't know. That's just me,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here. I see everybody. Hello.
I think it's interesting the number of people because I wonder if maybe the scumbag attackers are like taking the night off or something.
I don't know.
I wonder.
You never know about them,
Did you see the other channels that I mentioned earlier?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that is so sad.
Listen. Yeah, I did.
It's just so sad. But one of them in particular is connected to one of the worst scumbags of all. So it didn't surprise me, but it's still sad when you see it, It's really sad.
Yeah. Well,
I just wish, especially the younger gals, I wish they would catch a clue that they could do so much better, than to hook up with evil.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is. I keep hoping people do a reality check and stop. You know, it's like they say, "Leave me alone. Don't bother me. I want," and I don't bother those channels. I don't bother any of them. But yet they're questioning everything that's coming out of my mouth, my opinions, my thoughts, um, and yours. And I don't see how that's fair. Why? How is that fair to question
Well, they're
anything in
just
any
using
direction we're
us.
going in? You know?
Yeah, they're just using us because they
Yeah.
don't have content. And
Mhm.
what I don't like is how they lie so much, you know? I mean, that one lie that little Davo said about telling people that
Mhm.
I said that he was sleeping with a certain family member,
Yeah.
that's a total lie. That is
Yeah.
absolutely fabricated. He's absolutely pulling that out of his nostril.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I
it's
don't. I think
ridiculous.
he's accused you and another lady of that. Actually, um, I'm hearing a little different story now, so I don't know.
Well, it's absolutely a lie. And then you have his mods running around posting their crap. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
Well,
try to teach the scumbag attackers how to like
I.
improve their
Mhm.
tactics a little bit so that they could be less obvious, you know?
Well, and how to actually research the case. You mean? Um.
They don't want to know the case. All they want to know how to do is read. That's all
Mhm.
they have to do. The ones who are in front of the camera actually know how to read
Yeah.
because they're reading their scripts. And if you don't believe me, just watch any of their videos. They're reading their scripts.
Mhm.
They're being told what to say. They're saying the same exact BS that they were saying in 2018. They just
Mhm.
rotate the scumbags around so the scumbags don't really know that it's so obvious to those of us who have been watching.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I just feel like this way. I'm basing my opinions on what I've seen in videos, what I have heard, read in text messages, what I've read in the Discovery, in interviews, and what I've seen pictures, reactions to with the body cams and stuff. I'm going by what I can visually see with my own eyes, and that's how I come to the place that I come to, you know?
Well, and here's the thing, if you were just casually scanning over some of the information and you formed an opinion, you have a right to
Mhm.
your opinion. It's a
Exactly.
true crime case. This is a hobby, you know. True
Mhm.
crimers have the right to dig in or not, or to read part of it or not, or to ask questions and not have a clue, or to research the whole case and be able to be the one answering the questions. Who the hell is he
Yeah.
to
Well,
have
I just wish that if he was gonna accuse us
reaction
of things.
whatsoever to any opinion that we have? If he wants to say that
Mhm.
he flew to the United States in June,
Yeah.
and then if he didn't, I guess we have the right to have the opinion that that's a lie, you
Right.
know? And it's a hurtful, harmful lie because he
Mhm.
stirred up the family.
Yeah.
He upset the family. He
Mhm.
got people fighting. The whole issue of those tarps over the headstones,
Yeah.
that was a serious emotional issue. You know,
Mhm.
he isn't in a little vacuum. There are a lot
No.
of us who have suffered losses in our lives. There are a lot of us who are in mourning, who are suffering with different illnesses and whatever.
Right.
You can't run around stirring the pot and trying to literally harass, in my opinion, one side of the family, all based on lies about whether or not he was even in North Carolina.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, a certain side of the family is not my favorite group of people on the planet at
Right.
all,
Mhm.
but they didn't have to go through however many days of worrying and wondering if some moron was going to be messing around their loved one's burial site.
Mhm.
They don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that.
Right.
So if he was lying about going in June, then I think everybody should care about that.
Mhm. Well, the thing that is aggravating me right now with this whole mess is he's saying that certain things are coming out of our mouth that we didn't say it. He's twisting and turning it, or else somebody told him something different than what we actually said. And he should listen for himself and
And
make sure
even
he's got the
worse, then you
words
have a
right,
channel.
Yeah.
Even worse, Star Mama. Then you have a channel like Lana, who is absolutely taking all of it out of context.
Yeah, she did it today. Yeah.
And to me, that's even more disgusting than Dave.
Yeah.
That's even more disgusting than Dave. She's a young woman. She should definitely not be sitting there jumping on board with old Davo to try to
Yeah.
attack innocent people. We don't go over and harass anybody. We don't go running around harassing anybody at all. You know, got to tell you guys something. There's a group of ladies at my church known as the praying Grammys, the praying grandmas. Okay.
Yeah.
I told you that story, didn't I, Star Mama?
Yeah, you did. Yes.
But I'm not going to tell because scumbag attackers would really run with it. But
Oh, yeah.
they sit in the corner and they're there for the congregation is pretty huge, and they're there for the entire congregation.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a prayer request, I almost feel like telling the story, but I don't know. If you have a prayer request, then you can go to the corner by the praying grandmas and they will pray over you. And they have their little journals, their prayer journals, and they'll write down your prayer request. And then all week long, they'll pray for you. Okay?
Right.
Could the scumbag attackers just kind of visualize us as being the praying grandmas? Like, we're not, those praying grandmas aren't running through the aisles. They're not going and grabbing onto people saying, let me pray for you, right?
Right.
They sit there, they enjoy their time together, they enjoy helping people and praying over people. Like, we sit here, we enjoy our time together, we don't go running up and down the aisles. So could these idiots just leave us alone? And the short answer is no, because without us, they don't have any content.
I'm beginning to think that they have nothing. But I do, at least she did. I have to give Lana credit. She did mention who brought the source to her, who brought this to her attention, that you and him were in a feud. She did say the name of the person that
Who
brought
brought
it to
it
her.
to her attention? Because the part I didn't appreciate was Lana sitting there going, oh, yeah, Miss Manson, blah, 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 blah.
You want me
No.
to tell you the name? She said it's in her life. Let me tell
Let
you.
me hold on. Let me say this. If Lana's so into research for the Watts case, maybe she should research for what she's saying, because Dave and Mensa were not in a feud. In fact, Dave hopped right up on the panel and we talked to him nice, very nice.
Right.
Dave and Mensa weren't in a feud. This is the same shit Dave pulled the other time when he started attacking out of the blue. He attacks out of the blue. So it is not proper. It is not within the proper context for Lana to sit there and tell her subs that Dave and Mensa are feuding. Bullshit.
Well, I was kind of shocked at the source, and this is the way she said it. She said, Hot Ham Radio brought it to my attention that Miss Menza and Dave were in a feud with each other over certain information that they weren't agreeing on or didn't have the same opinion on. That's who she said brought it to her.
Which is total bullshit. Dave started attacking out of the blue. So thanks a lot, Lana. Thanks a lot, Lana. Lana, to me, I have a little bit of a soft spot with that bullshit, because I actually reached out to Lana and suggested to her when she was in her issue with whatever that she not talk about it on YouTube. Okay.
Right.
And then I ended up getting thrown under the bus by whoever she's fighting with. And I mean, the whole thing is just ridiculous how all of that goes, right? I was being nice to both sides, hoping that they could work out whatever and everything would be fine. And, and then I got thrown under the bus. So for her to be sitting there, talk about cackling. I mean, come on.
Well, the thing that perturbed me was she said, I don't understand what the big deal is, whether it was why, what difference does it matter about whether it was a nap or the ice cream or nuts or whatever? Well, it makes a big difference when a certain family member has led you to
Well,
believe
that's
one
not
way
even
for
the
4 years,
issue.
you know?
That's not even the issue. For somebody who
No.
claims to have so much legal knowledge, she needs to learn about spotting the issue.
Yeah.
The issue isn't about a nap or nuts. The issue is that if
Mhm.
suddenly, once again, Cindy Watts
Mhm.
is changing her stories,
Yeah,
this isn't
that's not our fault. That's not our fault.
this
But it's
isn't the
making
first
it to look
time.
like we're maybe not coherent, and we're being accused of that basically. We don't know what we're talking about, you know.
It isn't
So,
the first time. And we
uh,
know about traumatic memory. We know about memory,
mhm.
period. And it isn't the first time that there have been strange changes to her stories. Okay. So that's the issue. And even then, we didn't fight with Dave about it. I actually said to Dave, okay, that's kind of weird because for 4 years she's been saying something else. But I guess I'll try to be really generous and think, well, maybe there's something weird with how her memory worked or something.
Yeah.
I said something along those lines. So for Dave to take off and turn it into World War III,
Mhm.
and then for Lana to sit there and say, oh, yeah, they're feuding.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Hot Ham Radio, for
Well,
just coming over to Lana to stir the pot with lies.
mhm. Well, Cheryl Cole in the chat, you're saying the feud changed after his visit. It seems there wasn't a feud before his visit there. So
There
I don't know
wasn't
what
a
you're
feud at
talking
all,
about.
Sarah.
See, I
There
don't know
wasn't
what
a
you're talking
feud.
about.
There
Yeah.
was not a feud. Dave hopped up on this panel, what, 2 weeks ago? A
Yeah.
week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. He was right up on the panel talking friendly.
Yeah.
This is
Um,
created by Dave. This is how the scumbag attackers do it. They create their bullshit and then they all sit around going, hee, we have content today.
yeah. Well, Cheryl, I guess you need to go to old Dave over there and ask him. You're saying that's what we need to know. Did Cindy change it or did someone else? He's the one that's got all the answers. I don't have it. I don't have the answers
Well,
for you. I don't
and I
know.
think that's a separate issue too, Cheryl. I think whether or not she changed the story is a separate issue. Right now, the issue is Dave needs to stop being an asshole
Yeah.
because we weren't
Why?
fighting with
Because
Dave.
we're questioning what he was saying because it's something totally different what we've been told for 4 years. I don't think that's wrong on our part to question that.
It's
And he said it's irrelevant whether he was there in June or not. So that kind of
This
concerns
is
me
the
about that
true
wording.
crime
Yeah.
community. She, this is a true crime community. We have the right to discuss this stuff
Hmm.
about whether or not Cindy Watts is changing her story. He doesn't have the right to be calling us nasty names unless he wants to prove to you guys that he's just a total dipshit. So
Hmm.
there's two separate issues. The case is separate. I mean, they're interconnected for sure. But the case issue is if he's wanting to run around for how long now, Star Mama, to say that she changed her story, then show us the video and
Yeah,
let's
he's
discuss the
been saying
video.
that since he's come over on your channel the night I was sick and got up there and hopped up there and said it was about a nap, not about the ice cream that we had. That wasn't what he was told. He
Right.
was
And
told
then the
something
other
totally
issue is
different.
if he has an issue where if he's got so much anger that he's got to,
Hmm.
split the camera in between reading his script, then he should come right back here, grab the link, hop up on the panel, and discuss it for Pete's sake.
Yeah. And I have people asking me, sending me emails quite a bit saying, well, did you find out that was it over the nap or has that changed? Um, have you got any new information you can tell me? Has it changed or was it about the nap or was it about, I said, I don't know. I haven't heard anything out of Cindy's mouth to tell me it's any different what she said 4 years ago. That's what
Cheryl
he's
just said
saying.
both sides have been nasty. Bullshit, Cheryl.
No, we haven't.
Bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. If you want to take a look at the history of Dave, take a close look at how he started on YouTube by posting an attack video against me.
Yeah.
That's how he got started.
We've been called bitches. We've been called old hags. We've been called old women. We've been called witches. We've been called dumbasses, every name in the book, and plus the C word, which I just despise. And yeah, that's what he did. So He's been doing that. And besides that, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't even been here like we have for almost 4 years. He didn't even come in the picture till it'll be 2 years in December. He doesn't have the original discovery like he claims he does. Because I don't know anybody that has the
Exactly.
original. That's
Exactly, Joshua. He wants chaos. That is his
yep, he
role.
does. Hmm.
He's a scumbag attacker. He's not there because he knows anything about the case. He's there because he's reading his scripts. The attacks he has been
Hmm.
delivering are exactly what has been going on for 4 years. This is not any feud between anybody and him. This is a scumbag attacker who is in place reading his scripts to cause chaos and confusion so that way we won't sit up here on this panel and talk about moving day.
Right.
We've learned this lesson over and over and over again. As soon as we land on something that evidently somebody wants to keep
Yeah.
secret,
Every
then
time this happens. The
then
moving
we
day the moving day theory is making them so pissed they can't see straight. That is just they're on edge about that. They're on edge about the pregnancy. They're on edge about the trip that she did in Indiana. They're on edge about a lot of things, and it's out there. You know, I can't help that the information's out there. I'm just looking at what's facts out there. Is what I'm doing, and that's what I do. I look at the facts. Period. And I've never gone over there and attacked him. I've never once got over there and attacked him. I've never attacked anybody over there in his chat. I don't go around and do that stuff. I'm too old for that. I don't play games like that. I just don't.
well, let me tell you something. He has been welcomed up on this panel many times. I
Hmm.
also have allowed him to use my content. I have always been nice to him. When he treats me like shit, yeah, I'm going to call him dipshit Dave. Because when he treats me like shit, he's a dipshit. He shouldn't be
Hmm.
treating me like shit. He shouldn't be lying about me. He shouldn't be making up stupid stories
Hmm.
and then, staring into the camera and spitting. He shouldn't be doing it. He should be talking about the case. He should be, maybe, I don't know, maybe doing a little bit of, you know, self analysis about why he hates women so much.
Yeah. Besides that, his focus, if he really cared about this case, should be on why two little girls are not here alive and well. That's my opinion. That should be all creators
Exactly.
that study true crime's main thing is to figure out why, what caused these two little girls to lose their lives. And
Special K just made a really good point. Nobody has ever attacked him.
exactly.
This is his shtick. This is what he does. He tries to act all big and tough. And oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't mean to sound sexist, but I'm sorry. If you base your big and toughness on
Mm,
attacking women, you're not very big and tough.
yeah. I mean, it's just I don't get it. I mean, we this case has brought so much chaos and drama to the true crime community, and it's the only one. I've never heard of
Yeah.
a case ever,
Yeah.
ever being like this, ever. And you
The
know
other
what? It
cases,
all evolves around money. This one's making money off this one's making money off this. There's this fundraiser for this. There's this donations for this. There's this GoFundMe for this. I mean, really? I mean, seems that
the
way to
other
me.
cases, the other true crime cases that I've written books on, those
Hmm.
relatives, those family members, those friends, even prosecutors, even defense lawyers,
Hmm.
they're absolutely friendly, professional. They email me to thank me for what I've written, to thank me for speaking for the children. I'm talking other true crime cases, okay?
Yeah.
I've I've been encouraged when I was in law school, there was a big case going on at the time and one of the defense lawyers was encouraging me through school. I've had terrific correspondence with people involved with many different true crime cases.
Hmm.
Never have I seen the crap that's going on, like what's going on with the case of Christopher Watts. Never.
Yeah.
I have over 64 titles. 64 titles. Never have I seen anything like all the BS that's going on with the case of Christopher Watts.
Exactly. I mean, it's just crazy. And we have the thing about it is, we're still discussing cases happened 20 and 30 years ago. You know, I
Right,
mean,
right.
this case is going to be discussed forever. It is.
Well, look at the Betty Broderick case. That was 1989.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
Exactly.
Diane Downs case, 1983.
Mm-hmm. How long's it been on the Darley Routier? What's that been? Shoot, I don't.
1996.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Getting close to
June
it's
6th of
climbing.
1996. 666.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. But
So yeah, I mean, at this point, I think Dave should remove his bullshit, and I think anyone like Lana who's jumping on board to have fun with it. What is sad statement for women? What a sad statement for women if
mhm.
in 2022 women are hopping on board to support a man who is calling women the C word. I mean,
Mhm.
seriously.
Yeah.
I agree, Tanya. I think Betty should be released also.
Oh,
I, I
I've thought
agree.
that for a long time. I really have. Yeah, I don't think she should ever been put in there to begin with. Um,
I think Dave should remove his crap. I think he should talk about the case. And if he's got something all interesting to show about whether it was a nap or nuts,
yeah.
show it.
Well, that's what we keep saying. He keeps telling everybody, "Oh, I've got a video coming up. People are just going to have to be patient."
Well, I
Well,
mean,
okay.
seriously, think about it. What is he, the warm up band or something? Like,
Yeah.
go ahead and play it. What is he waiting for?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes, he does need to apologize, Rolling Stone.
I do. I agree. I agree with Cheryl. She said if he believes what he said, that the Watts believe they accept he did it, he needs to make a final statement to be done with it because there's other people that don't believe that. You know, the it just doesn't fit what happened. And I keep going back to that dog handler, Jane. She said there's no way he had enough time to do it. There wasn't enough time. And it's in and Mia's got the information on there. It is in that body cam and where she told him that. It's there.
Lana was supporting him to be mocking Star Mama and me. Yes, she was supporting him. Lana was definitely supporting him.
At Dave's comedy, I don't consider that comedy that Dave was putting out. I'm sorry. That was vulgar, nasty, offensive shit that he was putting out there at us. I didn't see anything
And
humorous
she's
about it.
promoting it.
Only thing that we laughed about last night is when Watts Obsession did the little cartoon thing, and that was cute and it was funny. Up until then, I don't remember us laughing this thing off as being a joke. I don't remember that any place. Nope. I just don't. Mm-mm.
Well, the whole thing is disgusting. And I was really disappointed because I actually, even though I think Lana should not be talking about her stuff on YouTube, I actually did see a lot of good in her, but not after seeing what she pulled today. No way.
Yeah.
Sorry. No way.
Well, I agree. I disagree with you, Colette. I don't even know who you are. I've never seen you in here. But it was not the same thing that we were laughing at yesterday. She was not laughing about that because I don't even think she never even brought up that cartoon thing anyway. That wasn't even mentioned over there that I seen. I never seen her play it. She was showing Miss Menza and me up there and was talking about she didn't know what the big deal was about the nap thing. She didn't know what the
And she
big deal was about it.
misrepresented it too.
Everything.
She
I don't know who she is.
misrepresented it all the way through.
She sure did.
So,
You
if
know,
she wants to support an abuser, if she wants to be supportive of an abuser,
we did
then
watch your live. We did watch your live. So I don't know what you're talking about. We did go watch it. hmm And Miss Menza didn't have a problem yesterday prior to that because she told everybody to go watch the video she did the day before. And then you put stuff up there like this. I don't see anything funny about this stuff
yeah,
that's going on.
I had
I just
forgotten
don't.
that, sorry, Mama. But you're right. I actually promoted her and promoted her channel,
hmm Yeah, you
and then
did.
she pulls that shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I went back and listened to it twice. And he was bashing us. And if she thought that was humorous, I don't think she doesn't think it's too humorous when people go
She
around and
was
bash her.
bashing us too. I am
Yeah.
so tired of people trying to pussyfoot. She was bashing us too. And so were her guests up on the panel.
Hmm. Okay, no, it wasn't about the cartoon. It was laughing at the same comments David made. Laughing at what comments he made. What was funny about the comments he made?
No,
That
Star Mama, Star
Star
Mama,
Mama is a dumbass.
Star Mama,
Really?
no, no. This
Thank-
person is obviously just a shit stir.
Yeah, they
There's no
are.
doubt about it. Not worth. Tell me this. How are your toes?
Oh, they look good.
Are
Yeah,
they gorgeous?
yeah, they're real pretty red, and my
I
feet
was
feel
going to
like a
say, did you
million
go
bucks.
red?
Yeah, I did red. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
do red
It's a
too.
fall
I like
color.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They feel pretty good. They feel a lot better than they did.
Isn't
Uh,
it nice? Do they soak
mhm.
them in the salts and everything, or what?
Oh yeah, and worked on them and scrubbed them all down, and then massaged my legs. Oh yeah, my feet. It was
Oh,
nice.
that's the best part. That's the
Yeah, it is.
best part when you can soak and just sit there. Tell your gal your life story while you're sitting there getting your feet all pretty.
Oh, I was sitting there talking to Mia.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
really?
I was sitting there talking to her the whole time. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, that's funny. So when I was enjoying my salmon dinner, you guys were gabbing.
We were talking about everything that's been going on and trying to understand all the crazy shit, and
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Mia, are you afraid to come up here? Because I don't want you to be afraid, honey. Because if you are, then you're handing the scumbag attackers exactly what they're looking for. Cheryl says we have to step back and regroup. The drama they stirred is BS, and let's not go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I started off when you were, before you hopped in here,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the moving day theory. I don't know if you remember this, Star Mama, but I remember that not that long, probably 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. It was about 6 weeks, probably, I'm guessing. There was, well, people were claiming that somebody who worked where Christopher Watts worked said that his last day was actually the week before. So that whole thing of a video of him loading his truck and everything.
Yes.
Now, I'm not clear on all the details, but there was something about he was either losing his job because of all the time he had to take off because of all the health challenges, or he was quitting, or he was reprimanded or something. There was something fishy about him not even working there anymore by the time they went missing.
Oh, I've never heard that. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and it was a big deal back then. It was a super big deal.
Mm.
So it was kind of weird. Here's Mia.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mia.
I just got my latte. I got back, but I was
She's got
listening
her
to you guys.
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you were in the
Talking
dark
so much.
there. Cool.
Um, yeah, I think somebody had to tell Lana something that wasn't true. And I'm so tired of that.
But Lana isn't stupid. She didn't have to go for it without knowing.
Yeah.
She didn't have to go for it without knowing. And
Ask her,
she
ask her
didn't.
about what you just said about CW about his job. Mia might know about that. I've never heard that before.
Okay,
Oh.
2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I'm not sure exactly when, after the tragedy happened, Mia,
Yes.
there were claims being made from somebody who worked at Christopher Watt's company where he worked,
Yes.
saying either that he had lost his job the week before or that he was about to be fired but the claim was made that on the day of the tragedy he was no longer working there because he had missed so much time or he had quit. Okay, now the moving day theory is that he was going to pick up Bella and Cece and
Right.
return, but his wife was going to stay in North Carolina. They were already separated, getting divorced, okay?
Yes.
And that family matter, the ongoing family matter, I'm not so sure she would have had to have been at the hearing, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, okay, I got to thinking, what if the plan was actually for Christopher Watts and the girls to stay in North Carolina with his parents?
Well,
Because
yeah.
if you think about this, they didn't respond or pay that HOA thing. That was coming up for a court hearing shortly after the tragedy. They ignored it. They didn't clear it. They didn't clear the debt. They totally ignored it.
Well, they both, they both signed it, but they never paid it, right? They didn't pay it. Is that
They
correct?
didn't sign anything.
Well, yeah, I didn't think they were like, I know they were 3 months behind.
No, they were 30 months behind.
30
Well,
months?
well, it's true. They were in pre-foreclosure. You're right. I mean, they were always so behind. I mean, they're gonna foreclose. There's no doubt.
Oh, when you said 3 months, you're talking the mortgage. I'm talking the HOA dues.
Oh, yeah, the HOA. You're right. Yeah.
So that they got sued for the
Yeah.
HOA dues. There was a court hearing coming up.
The
They
su-
owed over $1,500, and it was $52 a month at that time. So it would have been ever since the bankruptcy. They never paid the HOA dues.
No,
Okay,
yeah, I
so
saw that in Discovery.
2.5 years. So if you think about it, if they're planning on living there, no, $52 a month, Joshua, 52, 30 months, yes.
Yeah, it was
30
about. It was over 1,000, like 1,500. You're right. It was in that ballpark. They could people could look at that. It's in Discovery. You're right.
Exactly. So if you think about it, they both ignored it. Nobody did anything to pay that bill, so it was just still scheduled for hearing. Okay.
Mhm.
That seems kind of odd to me, unless maybe Christopher Watts was planning on living in North Carolina, because if that was his last day and it was moving day on that Monday, I don't think that his wife was supposed to come back.
Right.
Remember when he
Well-
said he didn't know she was there, or she wasn't supposed to be there, I think is what he said.
Yeah, and somebody had that. I think I won't give her name. She's a really nice girl. Very intelligent. She's been with me like from the beginning, and she was wondering if we don't even know, did Shanann fly really even from Colorado? Some people are saying that we don't know, and
Right.
she said maybe she flew from North Carolina to Arizona. I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. She didn't make it to the doctor's office, did she?
No.
I thought, wait a minute. I thought NA said she went over there that Wednesday
Right. Well,
and did the girls' nails because there was a bunch of problems at the house.
Right. I mean, yes, but it was weird. I don't know where that person heard that. I'm just saying. But yeah.
Well, NA also didn't know how old she was, supposedly, even though I think she did.
I mean, I lied a lot. You're right.
And she said that she was diabetic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to believe with her. She could have had, all I know is she had her phone, she had a suitcase, and her purse, and her phone. We don't know. There's three things. But that doesn't mean Shanann ever even made it in. We do not know that. We don't know if she got. We have no idea.
Exactly, we don't. But if it's true, because that came out shortly after the tragedy happened, 2 weeks,
Yes.
4 weeks, 6 weeks. If it's true that he was losing his job or quitting his job or about to get fired or whatever,
Oh, okay. I never even heard that.
then I think that house was it didn't look like it was lived in at all. I think because I think they were all moving out. I think they were heading back to North Carolina, which would explain Nutgate. It would explain Nutgate. If you're getting a divorce and you're going to move in with your kids to your parents' house, who they've only seen twice a year for all of their lives, you're going to want them there on the weekends to kind of get used to being there, right? To kind of, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
When you move small children, you need to move their small environment with them. Okay.
Right.
So by taking up those weekends like that would have helped create their small environment to transfer over. Cindy took her to Walmart and spent $375. That was not all food. They bought other things for the girls to have there at the house. I think the plan was for those little girls to move in with his parents. I think he was going to live there too. I think he was going to get back to being a master mechanic. And I think those kids were going to be safe with grandma and grandpa with their Mimi and Papa Watts.
Right.
I think
And
that's
I think, and maybe, and there, okay, and for if there was like just, I don't know if there was. Now the Renee's name is written on this. Is Renee CPS? We know this. It's in Discovery.
Yes.
So I can't ignore that.
She wanted a phone call back. She was a social worker supervisor, I believe, from North Carolina.
Yes, and that's in Discovery. I'm not making it up.
Sarah says that Cindy's house wasn't big enough. That is not true, Sarah. The house was plenty big enough to raise a boy and a girl and a mommy and a daddy and the dogs. So they would have had bunk beds for the girls, and they could have had Aunt Jamie's room.
I was gonna say, I mean, they raised a boy and a girl.
Yes.
You only need 2 rooms for kids.
Yes. Ronnie bought a pool and a trampoline. And it says, I don't think it was for just weekends for 4 to 5 weeks. I think those girls were moving into the Watts house.
You know, if a child doesn't feel like a female, you can't like label a child. I mean, you can't tell a child what they want to be. So, yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, as long as they had rooms for them, I guess. You know?
I do think that those girls were moving in with Mimi and Papa. I really do.
And I think if there was, say, hypothetically, say there was this like case, and maybe, and she wasn't allowed to be around them. Well, maybe the R's were going to see them like every other weekend, or they were going to work something out. Inevitable. They're not going to afford that house. They were going to be homeless. There's nothing else they would have done. Where would they go? Right.
Think about this too, the rivalry, the animosity, whatever you call it. So let's just say the plan was that Christopher Watts was going to have custody of the kids. Dun, dun, dun. And then his mom would have had like a primary role in raising those kids. Dun, dun, dun. I think we're on to something.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's look at where were they going to get the money? I mean, okay, Josh was supposed to move in, but I think Josh and that Cassie, I think she wanted to buy their house. I mean, they said about a month they would live there, but that wasn't enough to keep them. They would have had 1 month, that was it.
Right.
You know, it's not like they're rich. He was working at, what did it say? He just had some like regular job, like retail, one of those. And I don't know, they said she's a nurse, but
Yeah. Supposed to be.
they foreclosed on her house too. You know, those MLMs are quite detrimental, as we know.
Yep.
So they don't budget their money very well either. Or manage it, I should say. So what was going to happen? They would have been homeless, or they would have went to North Carolina. They cannot afford to live in Colorado. Period.
Well, I've said before that I thought when she said, the lawyer said, you know, that the custodial parent could take the kids out of state, you know.
Right.
I thought that somebody didn't want the kids living there with the Watts. I've always thought that. And that's the reason why the Nutgate thing happened. But I thought maybe it was because they were going to be helping him raise the kids. I hadn't thought of it like them moving there. That even makes more sense to me. Really does.
You know, not every grandparent wants
No
family moving in either. You know, I mean, I don't know that family.
Nope.
And yeah,
At the time of the tragedy, they were both at a point where they could have retired.
Right. Do they want kids there all the time? Probably. I don't know the people. Like, would they actually want them to live there? I mean, that's a big responsibility. I, they may
I
not.
have no
Well,
doubt, no doubt.
they always said they would help, you know. They did say that they were willing to help settle them in and stuff. So that makes sense
Uh,
too, that they were willing to go there and help, you know, pack things up and do stuff. I did hear that. So,
yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
mhm.
that it would have been quite challenging. I mean, I think, yeah, in that sense, it would have been a very small house if they would have stayed married. And oh God, that would have been a disaster. I would have thought they would have got divorced, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
No, he was getting divorced. That's what he told Mark. He was getting
yeah.
divorced. I'm not even going to question that. He didn't want to be with her anymore.
No, he'd had enough.
He was done.
And he'd been done for quite a while. That marriage had been
Yeah.
over for a while.
I
And
don't think he had a choice. I think if he was going to stay with her, they were going to lose the girls.
Yeah.
yeah, that's, I mean, the name is, it's like jotted down that Renee, they must have forgot to redact that part out of Discovery, but it does say Renee CPS is all I got to say.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it's in there for a reason.
Yeah. Well,
Was usually, if you have an angry neighbor, they'll never open the case to begin with. It's just never
hmm.
going to be anywhere. So
I've had calls
it
from
had to
people
be
who
open.
claim,
It was open at one time if it wasn't open, because you don't just have a CPS name. Like,
I've had calls from people who claim they've read the CPS case with their own eyes,
and what did they say? What,
and
I could be wrong, I suppose. I doubt it. But
their stories fit everything.
oh,
Their stories fit everything.
Hmm.
so
Well,
So,
she told that one hairdresser that
yeah,
she was going to be getting divorced and was looking forward to being single again. So,
and
I
that
mean,
was in early July
yes.
right.
before the nut meltdown. And then she told that lawyer in March. And
Mhm.
her questions, I think, were about whether or not Christopher Watts would be able to leave with the kids.
That's rather interesting to look at it that
And
way.
I
Yeah.
think that's when she told him she was pregnant after that, because I think she did not want him going
Interesting.
back to his mother's.
Yeah.
And it was, and I didn't just jump on board with this moving day theory, or, I mean, and I say theory because I can't prove any, there's things I don't know. However, it makes sense. It really makes
It
sense.
does. It makes total sense. It's the only
Yeah.
thing that really makes sense. That adds up. It really does.
Yeah. I
Nothing
mean,
else makes any sense
no,
without that. Yeah.
put it this way, I don't know anybody that can stay in a house past 3 months. You don't pay
Mhm.
your mortgage. I'm sorry. They're going to foreclose. That's just the way it is. So, and what other options are you going to have? You have no money they had no money. There's no money anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
not magical
if
thinking
they had
there.
just owed their HOA fees, that would have probably been worked out. But not
Oh
but
yeah.
owing or even owing taxes, but owing the mortgage payments, that's the horse of a different color. Yeah, that
Yeah.
wouldn't fly. Uh-uh.
How much money they have in the bank? It was like next to nothing.
I thought one count it said they had like 1,300 in there.
Yeah, it
I
was like
think it wasn't a lot,
but yeah, there's just
and
no.
But they're
maybe that's why CW called the school and said the girls weren't going to be going there anymore because
right.
they were supposed to be going back and living there, you know, in
Exactly.
North
Right.
Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
And
I think he just lost his job. I think that video of him loading up his truck might be all baloney.
yeah, yeah. Well, that
oh,
could
you
be
think
too.
he lost his job?
Yeah, that's what she thinks. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, I know he lost. They let him go when um this stuff when they went missing and stuff. I believe they'd already let him go before they even knew. Um, or that was said before they even knew what had happened. But I
They
believe he probably could have because
well
hey,
they
he had missed a lot of work.
they fired him on Wednesday after he.
Yeah. Well, So we've
That
been
was
told
the
that.
story, yeah. That was the story. But
Yeah.
a few weeks later, somebody from the company supposedly
Mhm.
was telling people that he had either lost his job that Friday before, or he was leaving, or he was quitting, or he was about to be fired, or whatever. He was already disconnected from the
How do,
company.
how do we know this? I mean,
This was in 2018,
uh,
and when that started scurrying around, it was right in the middle of all the attacks and stuff.
Yeah. We don't
So,
know it to be factual, but it was talked about, right?
right.
I,
Okay.
And the reason was because he had to keep missing work.
Yeah.
That was the
I don't
reason.
doubt that a bit. He'd missed a lot of work.
And
You
think
know.
about this. Didn't he miss work that Friday before also?
Yeah. He had to be when she went to Arizona. Yeah. And
yeah.
he'd been off the week before because he was in
Well, he had paid time off. This is,
yeah.
I don't know how many days or
Well,
anything like.
she said he only took a week off because to go so he could spend a vacation week in North Carolina. She didn't say any. She said he only had a week.
I know Luke has. I saw it in Discovery. Luke,
Who?
his boss.
Oh.
So he knew. Like I think he said he had paid time off on Friday.
Oh, really?
I'm almost positive, but I'd have to go back. Like I don't have it memorized.
I
But
knew that she said that he was taking a week when she
yeah,
told him in her lives
like
that she was going to
go
go
up.
there, that
Yeah.
Chris would be joining him or CW be joining him the last week.
Right. Actually,
Um,
he also had off. When I ran into this, he did miss quite a bit of time. I mean, I don't know how much time he had off, but he missed like around when's Father's Day, like around June 16th or something,
yeah.
because he thanked Anthony Brown because I read that in Discovery.
Mm.
So he did miss time. I don't know. Maybe they were going to get rid of him. I don't know.
That could be. He didn't really. I don't think he liked the. He was making what over $30,000 less work from there than he made as being a mechanic anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
I don't think he liked doing it. I think he'd rather
no.
been there working on cars, which he loved, than doing
Yeah, he quit his
there.
job because of her. And I forget. I
Yeah.
read somewhere there was some facts to this. Because she didn't want him to work Saturday.
She
Which
didn't want him to be around any
oh,
possibility of him being around females either.
yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
couldn't work out at the gym either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's $30,000 a year. Different. I mean, that's significant. That's
Hmm.
what he wanted to do.
Well,
Well, yeah, that's what abusers do. They want to isolate you. They want to make sure you're not able to be self-sufficient. That's what abusers do.
Yeah,
She
I
told
don't doubt it. He was abused, and he has all the symptoms and signs, and you see it. He's still defending her and saying she makes as much as he does off that
yeah.
stupid MLM.
Yeah.
and I don't think she made a dime.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, actually, that's in Discovery. I'm sure everybody knows that. That comments.
Well, her just being able to write those student
Yeah,
loans off in the bankruptcy should tell everybody plenty.
61,000. What they claimed on IRS income tax. She didn't make anything.
Yeah.
She really didn't. They were at a deficit by her taking that job.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have stayed home with the kids, maybe it could have. If that $800, you still have to buy that product. I don't think no. And then she had to pay for those stupid trips.
Think about this. Maybe he was loading up the belongings to return the truck that Monday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
wasn't wasn't he training Cody?
yeah.
Oh, yes, he
Oh,
was.
Melissa. That's what they said, Melissa. But maybe. You know what else? It could have been. You
Mm.
see how nice he detailed the Lexus. Maybe he was going to return that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm correct, then guess what? The moving day theory is spot on, and that's why they're acting like a bunch of bozos.
Yeah, and I do believe that him detailing that car, I do believe that car was going to be returned either Monday or Tuesday. I do believe that.
Think about that.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yep.
because that was a payment that was something like $800 with insurance and everything, 800 a month that he couldn't do, and his name was on it, not hers. And he
Yeah.
wasn't about to leave that car with her if he wasn't even going to be there. I mean, that wouldn't even make sense. He couldn't pay for it.
No, and the insurance would be much greater on a car that expensive.
Yeah. And I mean, they wouldn't have had a vehicle, but I'm sure maybe he wasn't going to need a vehicle. Maybe that makes sense too. He's going back to North Carolina. He wouldn't need a vehicle. He would be able to use probably one of his parents or something until he could buy an inexpensive vehicle.
Right, and being
Think
a
about that. Yeah.
I mean, he would have been able to get a car pretty cheap. That's
Well, I have another idea too. Wasn't there a red truck and a gray truck? Maybe that's a
Yeah.
certain someone's new husband or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
and North Carolina, it's much cheaper. Like you can get cheaper vehicles there and everything. Actually, I should have looked.
And Brooks, I agree with you on the student loan things, and Mia's looked into that. You have to have Mia. You explain to him how those student loans got wrote off because you
No.
and Men's have both looked into that. There's only one way you can write them off.
Yes.
But you know,
There's no way she would have ever qualified. I mean, you have to go through Social Security, whether it's and Miss Spence is right. SSI is the welfare one, SSA or SSDI. You have to work to have money into that.
yeah, you have to have so many work credits to even be able to file for it. You're right. You're right.
It has to be within the last immediate 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, okay. Lupus, and anybody else can look it up. I went to the Social Security Administration. You have to go to the USA.
I know you did. You looked up everything. I know. Yeah.
Because I really did wonder about this, and because I was shocked when I'm like, they really discharged her student loans, and you're like, yeah, I'm like, I couldn't believe it, and I saw it on Justin Lee Reacts. It was a great video. I give him credit for it. I think really every creator, if they would try to get along, I think you could learn from everybody.
Yeah, because me and I kind of argued back and forth. She said, no, she didn't have those kind of student loans. And I said, yeah, she did. She said, no, there's no way in a bankruptcy. And she had to go look it up. I mean, yeah, we did. We went back and forth on the phone about it. Yeah.
Right. You know how hard that is to get them discharged?
Yeah, I know.
You had to be mentally have problems.
Yeah, to where you're never going to be capable of ever repaying it again due to mental disability, right?
Right, and we're not talking just depression. It has to be pretty great. You don't. Everybody would say, "Geez, I hear voices." No, it doesn't work like that. It's not even like one hospitalization. I actually would have to look that up, but she probably would have to be a danger to herself or to others, or both, And there'd have to be proof, And if Indiana, I never even heard of that until you and Miss Benson, never. So.
Oh, good night, Rolling Stone.
But yeah, if they were discharged. That's the only way. She was declared mentally disabled because she had no physical impairment.
No, because she could lay out in the sun. She could get out there and do all kinds of walk around the pool and walk all down New Orleans, all up and down the streets there and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'd say she wasn't too bad.
If you have lupus, you have to have all these qualifying symptoms to keep you disabled because you could be in remission and you're fine.
That's just the way it is. And they didn't want that to come out, but I was glad that he put the video. I never knew that. Never. So, there's no other way. They were not forgiven back then.
Yeah.
And what was it, Sir Mama? She owed was it 12 or 25,000? I forget.
It was not quite 12. It wasn't quite 11,000 something, I believe. 11,000 something. Yeah.
I'm sorry, getting trying to share.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry about that.
Is that you going off? Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I had can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
It transferred. I just figured it was just better being in my car. The dog's inside.
Oh.
Yeah,
But I think it was right at, if I'm not mistaken, it was a little over $11,000 that she owed in loans. Yeah.
yeah. No, Storm Mama really knows a lot. So do you, Miss Vincent. And I don't know why it's turning into this like competition thing. A lot of stuff I might get wrong, but
Hey, I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
everything, and I've told people that. I'm just sure about certain things because I've read it over and over and over.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm not
really,
going to
I
know
hate.
everything, you know?
Yeah, there's a difference between having a debate, But I mean, I don't know. It's just too mentally
Well,
exhausting for me.
you and I had a debate on the student loans, and you went
Yeah,
researching, found out yes, and you found
you're
out how
right.
she was able to do it. And I mean, we did debate it on the phone for a long time. We did. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
But you
have like
don't
a
see us
photographic
running around
memory
and,
too.
going after each other about it, do you? I mean, come on.
No, that's stupid. I'm not saying even use that word, but I mean, it sounds negative to even say that. But no, I just people don't debate anymore. I think that's the issue. Maybe
Um,
I'm not sure, and it seems like
okay.
people like the fights or something. I'm not sure why that is. I don't like fights. I
Okay,
don't.
MM, you and I are going to talk. MM got a
What's
phone
wrong?
call. She said she'll be back a little bit. So you and I can talk.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's some kind of difference, and I'm not sure why there are people that like drama. I mean,
Yeah.
drama is different if you plan it, but I mean, like, for people, I don't like to engage in it. It makes me nervous. I get anxiety. I just don't like fighting
I
with
don't
people.
either, but every once in a while it's more than what I can take and I blow up. And I probably shouldn't, but sometimes
Well,
it just gets to be too
oh,
much. It does.
oh no, it's not. It wasn't your fault. I mean, when people are calling you names and bashing you, what are you supposed to be like a football?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
I do too. I'll blow up at people if they're gonna do that crap, and they push you to that limit.
Yeah, they do.
And and then everything's being turned around.
Mm.
I mean, I think there's a disconnect with these people. I'm gonna be honest. For people that it should be embarrassing because you don't know
Okay,
who's
Holly.
watching. I'm
Okay,
sorry, it's
Holly.
embarrassing. I mean, I would think it's embarrassing. Can you imagine somebody like, I don't know, somebody you admire, like say if it was Johnny Depp, and he's like, who are these people fighting?
Hmm.
You just never know.
Right. Yeah, and you're right, Joshua. Every time the kids had a health issue, he had to take off work. And to me, that tells me right there that
That's a good point.
she could not be alone with those kids. He had no choice but to take off. If
He was
nobody else
scared of
was there, he had to be there. He just, I think she was being watched that close. I really do. It just
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
it really does. And people could say, yeah, no, it's not really speculating because that name is in the discovery. It's set. And I remember asking somebody about it. Nobody ever had a reason why. I don't know what they ever said. Like, it's on that yellow piece of paper in discovery. It says Renee, CPS.
Right.
Nobody, and
Well,
people say, how can you can't say yes and you can't say no. That's all what it says. I don't know.
there is an interview that Cindy Watts did on television with a reporter, and she
Right.
said that
I'm gonna believe
she
her.
told the reporter that the social worker said that marriage was over a long time ago and they
No,
shouldn't even
I
been
heard that.
together. Did you hear it?
Right.
Yes. So that
Yes.
tells me something right there. That right there.
Social worker. Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
It
because
just does.
social workers are the ones that.
Kind of validates what you're saying, actually. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and this is where sometimes you have to extrapolate what's in there.
Yeah. But I
Um.
had seen something from way back when Bella was 10 months old, where a doctor and nurse had reported her because of the multiple times she had Bella at the hospital, and they were concerned about certain things was being pointed out to them that they didn't believe was wrong with the child. And
Right.
I think that's when it would first come about, actually, because right after that, I think that's about the time the R's moved in there for a while. People
I
think
mean,
they moved in while she was pregnant with Cece, and that's just not so.
no.
That didn't happen that way. Mm-mm. Nope.
And it's even if, okay, what, I don't really know what we could believe out of Cindy Watts at this point. I don't know. But she was verbatim with the discovery of what Shanann said. You
Yeah.
can't always get what you want. I mean, that was
Right.
verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
So she admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So I can't say she's not credible at this point until I hear something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was over this neck gate. Everybody knows that. Tammy Lee knows that.
And you're right, Brooks. There was a thing on her Facebook post where she posted about how the doctor didn't believe her about Bella's health. You're exactly right.
And I'm not bringing that up to start a problem, but I don't know where the problem was because okay, it's all come out like yeah, I think that's what was said today, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
confirmed. That's what it was. Good. So okay, now we're back to being normal again, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just kind of wild, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just know it's in Discovery. Okay, so that's in there. It does seem like, yes, there was definitely an open case, no doubt, because every time there is a post, it's always 5 others, 3 others, me and, I don't know, 2 other people. And yes, he had always missed time from work. I don't know how you keep a job. They don't care if your children are sick and you keep missing work. They don't even care if you're a nurse. They they want you there, I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well, there was something going on, like you brought up. You brought up how many times that SR tried to contact CW in just a short amount of time. It was just ridiculous. Something was going down.
12
Something.
times,
Yeah.
July 24th.
Yeah. Something was going down, and actually talked to him for 30 minutes. Something was
Yep.
going down before he ever got there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he also talked to NA. He
Mm-hmm.
called Utah, it said. There is something definitely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there should have been a trial. I mean, this is, people are acting like this is just a drama thing. No, this is like, believe it or not, it's embarrassment. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is supposed to be a real case.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't seem like one, but, if, the Parkland shooting, I mean, that, if you see that case, people would be shocked because that's like it's a professional case.
Yeah.
Criminal.
And I do agree with Bassett Baby when she's saying, and her friend left her own family all the way from Hawaii to help her because of her neck. That doesn't make sense. You're right. That's off too. I don't buy the thing about the neck surgery personally, but
No, and
to
I'm
each their
glad
own,
you brought that up. Yeah, well, I will say this: that type of surgery, and I know this. You're not going to be in a car. It's too much bumps and bounce. They don't recommend that now.
Mhm.
That's a
Right.
pretty major surgery, believe it or not.
You're not going to be whipping your arms up in the air, putting your hair in a ponytail either.
Oh my
Right.
God, no. And
Exactly. And going on a car ride 2 weeks later to go to an MLM thing. Yeah. No way.
yeah, no way, no.
Nope.
I think they
And
were
that
both
I
heading
do
back to
question.
North Carolina. I think they were both heading back to North Carolina. And I think the girls were going to be living with Cindy and Ronnie.
Could be. That could be.
Yeah, they might have had to because there were
Remember
issues.
how the attacks first started?
Yeah.
Remember how they were going after Cindy Watts, over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Early September, mid-September, I said very innocently in my tiny little Facebook discussion group, why isn't there any refrigerator art? And they went ballistic, and they were already going ballistic, and they had their, you know, crap going on already. But they went ballistic about the refrigerator art. Well, that house was packed up and ready to roll.
Right.
That might explain why there was never any refrigerator art, because that was a temporary, stressful, what are we going to do?
Mhm.
That house, it didn't feel like it wasn't cozy. It was always temporary. Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
see any pictures of the kids even on the walls or sitting around the tables either.
But
No, that's a
remember,
good
picture
point.
frames have sharp edges.
Well, that's true too. I keep forgetting about that. About
Yep.
like
Yeah.
the shoestrings and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really toxic, that house. I mean, it was.
Exactly, Bassett baby. She made Cindy Watts buy Benadryl and Tylenol so they'd have a supply there at the house. She
Oh
didn't
my
check,
God.
Yeah.
right? And Cindy
Mhm.
said,
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
when Cindy
Mhm.
first started talking, she said that she still had the supply of Benadryl and Tylenol up in her cupboard.
Yeah.
Well,
Those girls were moving in.
Look what Tanya said. That makes sense.
get to the
This
Just
is
chat.
saying.
interesting. I've never looked at this case before tonight with Christopher Watts moving also. But I remembered that about how somebody
Mhm.
who's they worked for that company said he already wasn't working there.
Yeah. Is
So
that maybe why somebody said maybe the reason why they were looking? I can't remember where it was, but somebody said something. Maybe they were looking at the inside of that temperature gauge in the refrigerator where that meat was downstairs because he was fixing to sell that refrigerator and they wanted to show that it was working properly. I've wondered about that too now. If maybe that was a reason, they're showing the refrigerator was working good because, or the freezer, whatever it was, because taking a
Yeah,
picture of the temperature gauge would verify that.
that's
exactly,
true.
that's it, baby.
Yep.
$375. Cindy said she spent $375
Yep.
at Walmart. That's an
Right.
awful lot of money for just 4 or 5 weekends.
Yeah. And for two little girls, special food because the others didn't need it. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's a lot.
It's moving day for everybody.
That's a that's a lot of money for her to spend.
Yeah.
I
And
And
mean,
Cindy
you got to
said
keep
it
in
wasn't
mind,
all
as
food.
far as I know, Cindy Watts was a home cook too.
And Cindy said it was not all food, but there were things so the girls could
Hmm.
have what they needed there.
hmm,
I think we landed on something.
yeah. And she was selling it's in Discovery.
Okay,
uh,
Brooks.
Boots. I think it was CC's boots, and she wanted to wear them again. But she was selling some of their clothes even.
Hmm.
That is true. That was in Discovery.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of noodles. Yeah. Lots of noodles, hot dog, pizza. Yeah. A lot of cereal too. I never even, they couldn't have, well, I remember Bella picked the eggs out of the potato salad when she was a baby because she knew they'd make her sick if you really want to go with that crap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she probably
You
doesn't
know?
like them.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Mm.
don't know. Did she have to even put them in if the girl was picking them out? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't
Why would you? Yeah.
know.
Well, it's just like CW said when they were making those fry bites, we've been told they had to have certain chocolate, right?
Yep.
And they couldn't have, first it was peanut butter allergy and then it was the other kind of nut allergy. Well, why did he say that she loved the chocolate chips and the peanut butter in those fry bites? if they were allergic to it, if even she had problems, but they both had problems with
Exactly.
particular
And the
chocolates.
big Jif
Yeah.
container is in the pantry.
And
Yeah.
there's no way she would have handed them any of those bars at
What kind
all.
of stuff, Heather? You want me to show you how to cook dry bars? You got to be kidding. Really?
She would have never let those kids have
Mhm.
any of those
Yeah.
products from any of the MLMs because one time she got a new delivery of a brand new product, a brand new whatever bar. She
Yeah.
said that they did not have a label on them. They did not have a label on them. There's no way if your children,
What?
if
Oh
they're
my
deathly
god.
allergic and severely anaphylactic, as she put it, there's no way you're going to hand them any food product that's processed.
Okay. No butter noodles and other garbage. Okay.
Well, remember we were watching
Yeah.
that video, Star Mama? Chris
Yeah.
Watts didn't even. I don't think he gave CC any of the pro bars. Remember?
Yeah, he
He
did.
was
He gave
he
on
was
that lemon.
really fussy.
He gave her the lemon meringue. She took a bite of it because
Oh, okay.
SW made them all wait so they could take a bite at the same time. Oh yes,
Right. But he was more cautious. I think that's what we saw,
yeah,
right?
he was. Yes,
Like he really was good with kids. I mean, this doesn't make
yeah, he was.
sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. And actually, the nurse liked him, and
yeah,
so did the daughter, Ava or Eva.
yeah.
Ava,
Mhm.
beautiful, beautiful little girl. That's who that woman is. Deets. You'll see her on the candle lit, the
Oh,
vigil
you
that they
talking
have.
about the one that give him Dieter, the Dietz lady?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the nurse and the little
yeah. That's
girl.
her you
I
were talking
mean,
about. Yes, yes. Well, what that was her bridesmaid, wasn't it? I mean, her matron of honor, I think, in her wedding.
oh, was it?
I think so. Wasn't it Menza?
Was
Who,
it?
the one who gave him Dieter?
Yeah,
Well, that's what they claim. Who knows?
yeah. Well, that's what they.
Because
Let me rephrase that so I don't
how
get
did
in trouble.
Netflix
That's
do
what they
that?
claim. Okay.
What are they doing Netflix? Like,
Oh, shit. Netflix was a joke
I
to
mean, how
me.
did they like? They didn't show any like
Yeah.
real people that we knew. I mean, for the bridal
Yeah. I
party.
want a bite. You want a laptop? Go put it on your vision board. Really? Okay.
Oh,
The
that's
people
yeah.
keep
Really
forgetting some of the
bad.
simplest things that we picked up, and they want to
Yep.
ignore that.
I
Yeah.
just
But
thought of something. I did a
Mhm.
video one time where I said how healthy and happy Bella and Susie would be at their Mimi and Papa's house. And
oh
boy,
yeah,
oh boy, did the scumbags go ballistic.
yeah.
I bet that was the plan.
Mhm. Yep.
Ah, and you're always really nice. I don't understand. I don't understand these people. I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
the balance
interesting.
chain for
Bassett Baby
days.
says, I have a picture of a huge open jar of peanut butter on their counter, and she posts, protein anyone, peanut butter should not have been in the house. I agree. Because butter is made around other nuts, isn't it? Tree nuts, I believe.
Well,
If
their
I'm not
paternal
mistaken.
or their maternal grandmother said they were allergic to peanuts.
Oh, well, here we
Yeah,
go.
she did. Yeah,
Down that other rabbit hole again.
She said
yeah.
that in the letter to law enforcement.
I mean, and if you actually look at some articles, like some of these research articles, a lot of times they will be allergic.
Mhm.
You know,
They
if
say that if you're
you're
allergic to
born.
one, you should avoid the other just in case.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly.
Somebody
Yeah.
has feedback going on. Will you guys make sure you have your YouTube thing turned off?
Oh, mine's off.
What is it?
We can hear
What?
the YouTube play.
What's playing?
What? What is it?
Let me see if it. Yeah, it's still going. There's the echo.
Okay, let me.
I don't have anything on. Should I lower it?
Maybe it's
Uh,
me.
Is that okay?
I don't have anything on.
It could
I don't
be
even
me. Let me look.
I don't have a television on. Well, it's on, but it's not turned up.
I'm just like in the car, but it's not even on. But I don't know. It
I'll
could
look
be
on mine. I bet you it's me.
mine.
Nope, it says notify me. So that's not me. I
It
don't hear it
sounds
now,
okay
but
now. I don't hear it right now.
yeah, I don't hear it now anyway. Okay, good.
We're gonna
Good,
have to
good,
get our
good.
broom. We're gonna have to get our brooms and clean house now.
Well, yeah, I thought for a second there I fell off my broom and hit my head.
Gosh, I have to laugh at it because I've got used to hearing it for so long. Now it's getting kind of comical, you know.
It
Yeah.
is funny, except when Lana went ahead and did that, I just felt like, you know what, really? Come
I don't
on.
think she would have done it if that one girl hadn't took that information over. She's not going to say that person brought that to her and said there was a feud going. And that's why she went. I don't think she'd have made the video if it hadn't been for that because that's what she said.
Did you
That
watch the
was,
video, Star Mama?
yes, I did. Sure did.
I thought it was disgusting.
It was, and I heard what was said, who brought her the information, and it wasn't just laughing and making fun of him. It was pointing out to why. Oh, and the thing about the pregnancies, the thing about the moving day, the thing about the nap. Yeah, that we were just trying to add
And the
drama.
chat, her chat
Yeah,
was full of bullshit too. It was an
yeah,
absolute
yep,
attack, and it's
it was.
bullshit for her to act like that.
Yep,
Shame on her.
yeah. And then she said she don't like people attacking and she doesn't go for drama. Well, that is drama when you do that. I'm sorry. And I've never even been over that much or ever had anything to do with her. I don't know anything that much about it, but I just know I didn't like what I seen today. And
No.
I don't like that at all. And really, I was going over there. I was telling me I want to go there and listen to that video that Emma said we need to go listen to
Yeah,
that
I
she was telling
recommended
us
a
about.
video
Yeah.
of hers.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
true.
I recommended a video of hers the day before, and then she pulls
Yeah,
that
I was
video.
wanting to go look at that. It was last night you did, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go listen to that because you said she made some good points about things. And then next thing I know, this is on. I thought, oh my gosh, what's happened here? Like, uh, then you start thinking, yeah, well, here they go. They're
And
trying to bring you
especially,
in for the kill, you know?
you know, this is not a typical, like, two channels, like a comedy. I mean, this was vicious, and you don't want to keep adding fuel to the fire. Honestly, it could be dangerous. Like, and I think somebody maybe told her something that didn't happen because that's what I seem to be picking up.
Hmm.
Somebody's adding more drama to
I
it.
think somebody's trying to stir up some
Yeah,
more stuff.
yeah,
I think that's
right,
what happens. A lot of
yeah,
times you've got these some creators or some subs running to other creators saying, "Oh, you ought to see over here. Oh, you ought to hear about this. Oh, these two are at it.
yeah,
They're attacking each other. Blah
and
blah
what,
blah." And then they go for it
and
because they can make a
well,
video.
when somebody ends up dead, it's not funny, you know.
No.
You know, I
I
mean,
think
there's
it's
somebody
hilarious.
stomping around my yard the other night.
Yep,
You
you're
know,
right, Holly. It is weird seeing people in the chat being two faced in both
yeah,
places. You're right.
I think it's
yeah.
often strange too when you have such a group of scumbag attackers who are incessantly whining. Stop bashing. She's dead. Oh, be
Mhm.
nice. She's dead.
I think is,
Like,
you
go
know,
ahead and step on grandma. Go
they,
ahead and try to abuse women. Go ahead. Pick women. They intentionally.
that person didn't say that. Of course not.
Well,
And
actually, what
they
he
don't
said,
know.
actually,
They're
what he said is,
aggravating.
let the woman rest in fucking peace. That's what he said. Well,
Yeah,
that's a
let the
real
let
good
the
way of
woman
putting that out there, you know?
let the woman rest in peace while I go ahead and attack a whole bunch of women
Yeah.
who are supposed to put up with his bullshit, I guess, on a daily
Then he
basis.
has to use that effing, I shouldn't say it, but he had to use that effing word in there, just
Yeah,
like he
and
uses the balls in the ball bag all the time. I'm sick of
right,
it.
and
Just sick of it.
trust me, I wasn't the one who doubted this guy to be very close to me, and I don't like that.
It's absolutely true,
So
Holly. You know
I
that.
have nothing
Saying that
against
David's comedy
anybody.
is
I
gaslighting.
stay in my
Right.
lane.
I mean, honestly, have you ever seen anybody carry on so much about their balls and their ball sack as he does? I'm serious. I have never heard a man carry on so much about that. I mean, it's like you think he has gold ones there or something. I just don't get this stuff. Why focus on that all the time? It's crazy. My God, I just don't understand that.
Well,
We're
I
older
saw. Come
people. I
on.
mean, he's not no teenage
He
kid
didn't
that
hide,
needs to be.
he didn't hide his phone in his ball sack either. Isn't it something like that? That was
Yeah, he said he didn't have his phone down in there. He put it in his briefcase. I didn't stick it in my sack with my balls. I thought, oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Paula, it's something about your accent when you say that. What is his fixation on his balls?
I can't help it. I'm,
You think he
you're
wears
where I'm
like
from. I
this?
got a
Do you
little
think he
southern
wears
drawl.
like? Does he wear tighty whities, or do you think he wears boxer briefs?
I think he wears tidy
Or no
whities,
wonder.
and I think they have dinosaurs on them.
Dinosaurs on it. Gosh.
I'm searching for.
Yeah, I think that was that generation. I think they do actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know what? It was because of Tom Cruise. He brought that in. I think.
Yeah, I believe you're right there. It's better
Yeah,
keep your lip read
it's just a
anyway.
little trivia thing.
I mean,
Hey, just Adam from StreamYard. We have an exciting new feature to it.
yeah,
That was a StreamYard ad. Here, listen to this.
dinosaurs or maybe those little, what are you calling those, little boys, little bitty kids. I can't think of their name. Those little, Charlie Brown. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Well, I'm upper class, high society.
Oh, that's so good.
Ballroom
I've
television.
got the balls of them all.
Fill my ballroom. The event is never small. The social
Mr.
greatness,
Thinking.
I've got the biggest balls of all. I've got
I've
big
got big
balls.
balls.
I've got big balls. And she's balls. He's got big balls. And she's got big balls.
Let's just have them all. We got big balls.
Oh man, we're probably gonna get a bad video over this. This is
It's
funny.
actually, it's
I wonder if he can take what he dishes out. That's what I wonder.
actually cool. I used to love that song at 15.
Mhm. I like it too.
UCDC.
Hmm.
I don't know how well you could hear that, but that was
Oh,
big
we heard
balls.
it. That's a good
Okay,
one.
good.
Yep.
Yes.
Hmm.
It's okay to have fun. Yeah. I mean, that's in good humor. I mean, that's not bashing anybody. Yeah.
Well, and here's the
Right.
other thing. If Dave
It's
wanted
like to
to come
lighten
up
up.
on the panel, if he wanted to come
Yeah.
up on the panel right now, he'd be welcome to.
I'm not mad at anybody. I don't carry anger. I don't want anger. I swear to God, I don't. It's just not me. I think we should be able to discuss anything. I mean,
He
really.
is welcome to hop right up on the panel and to have an adult discussion.
Yeah, he
And
can come up there, and I won't even. He has a problem with me. I'm dumbass. I'll just get off, and he can talk to you all. I don't have a problem with that.
no, you can stay right up here because we're all adults. He can get up here and talk. But you know what? He'd rather sit over there and stare at his camera and spit,
Yeah,
and
don't
lie.
mind.
He'd rather sit over
Bellyache.
there and
Yeah,
lie. Yeah.
Why does he hate us?
I
I
don't know.
think the reason they hate us, and he isn't just he's part of the pack, who, by the way, Lana is also connected to one of the worst scumbag attackers of them all. So it's no coincidence that she suddenly thinks it's time to do a video trying to bash us. But here's the thing. Even this live chat, we started talking when I said, you know what I think? I think that Christopher Watts was moving also. I think the girls were going to be living with Ronnie and Cindy. That's what they are afraid of
Hmm.
because we actually have discussions. We actually know the case.
Yeah.
We actually, the three of us together know the case almost as good as Honey Badger knows it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we
Thank
are
you.
able to have discussion, ask questions, point out different details. That's what they don't like.
That's just I don't know. It's just really sad because I think you know everybody has like, their strong points in the case,
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
and I usually always do give people that credit, I do.
Well, different people, you have a lot of the deep, intense numbers, and, you get into the very deep stuff. We look at how can I look at more just what I go out and I can review and listen to and see and
But
um,
you're more you guys are more entertaining, and it's true.
I
And
don't know about. I mean, apparently we're not very good at entertaining because they don't like
oh,
it.
I don't see how anybody can hate you guys, honestly.
I think the people just like listening to Elvis Presley.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah, that's okay too. I mean, we could sit here and play Elvis all night, just sit here and listen to that. I'd be content. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I like I like his songs. I like a few other songs, but we seem to get in trouble when we play them. So yeah,
I know it.
yeah. Oh dear.
And no, and it's not like I don't care who's I mean, people could be subscribed to anybody they want. The only
Exactly.
reason I brought that up was because it was said about me.
Oh
And
yeah.
I actually defended this person when that woman came up and start. I don't know why why are you bringing it there though? That was a couple weeks ago, but I'm here. No, we don't talk with other creators here, and
Well, it's just like I
about
was
money,
told.
and
I was told by a creator I couldn't come
so
over here to stay away from Mensa. I couldn't come on her channel. Well, that's exactly what he was telling people.
oh
If you go to these other creators, you're not going to be welcome here. Who is he to tell people that? You know,
right
it's just a repeat of what I listened to
right
3 years
and
ago, 3.5 years ago. Gee,
I don't want you don't want to make people scared that they're watching you because they're scared.
no,
And throwing you money because they're scared. I mean, it's crazy. Um,
Let's see if he is live right now talking about us.
oh shoot.
Dogs
Nope.
are probably very good.
I'd
Nope.
like to
um,
just see what he has. He
it's
keeps telling
just
everybody he's going to play these videos of what he
I,
has from over
but
there.
no, I think it's not one of us. We're not saying anything bad.
No,
Nothing. That's the God's honest truth. Somebody, I think, I don't know
I
what
bet
people do
the.
behind the scenes, but I wish people would just ask.
Mhm.
I can speak for myself,
Well, I was probably wrong to think that he would be live right now because the people writing his script probably need some time to figure out what to say. They've
Well,
got to
ironically, when I was coming on, that was the case.
Mhm.
Did you see that too?
Yeah.
what?
Um, that person was live when I was
Yeah.
coming on
Yeah.
here,
I don't see it
and was.
posted. I just plugged in.
I mean, that was like well, maybe it was just ending or something. I mean, I don't know.
I
I just
don't see
Oh, I
anything.
know. I know
it
Bastard
just
Baby. He blocked everyone. I don't care. My feelings are not hurt in the least bit. Actually. Mhm.
I don't see
well,
it. I put in the filter for today, so maybe he's got it on private or something.
I
Or I
don't
don't,
go in there, and I don't go where I'm not welcome. You know.
Right.
Why would I, wipe the
I
dirt
don't
off your
go
feet?
anywhere where a man's calling a woman the C word.
No.
No, exactly. And I can't stand women. Well, you didn't do anything to me. Those women are freaking pitiful. You didn't do anything to me. I mean, really, those women should not
Well,
have children.
what they don't realize is he actually is doing something to them. If they're a
Yeah,
female, then he is because he's calling women the C word.
Yeah. I just can't. I can take. I
Ted
can take
Bundy,
a
me.
lot of
He didn't do
things.
anything to me, but I'm not gonna be friends with him. Of course, he's dead now, I think. But
I can take a lot of things, but I have a hard problem with some of those words. I just do.
Yeah. And thing is, what happened? Statistic. You gotta just look at how many times it's been said to other women. It's gonna happen to them too.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
You know, it's happening to them. If there's, especially if they're encouraging it,
Yeah.
then that's, you guys, this isn't what my
That
generation
is sick.
tried so hard to stand up for women's rights for. And there's nothing cool or tough about being a woman who talks like that or who thinks it's funny.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually. It's gonna be always hashtag Me Too movement. I think, and even though I don't always agree with, I agree with equal rights, but I think I'm gonna stress that because I think maybe women, they have to be abused. They just have to be, and they're used to it or something. Because that's not normal behavior for women to. It's embarrassing. They're not. They can't be. There's no way you're a professional in any. You can't. There's
And he
no
was
way.
really quick to call out some women creators that went into some of these yelling matches and name calling. He was quick to call them out, but he's doing the same thing. So I don't get it. I just don't.
You got to do it in person.
Are
Wait
you
a minute.
serious?
Thunder
I
Before
mean, that's not
Lightning.
going to go over too well.
Oh, is that? I seen that in the over there when I was watching that in the chat where he said that thunder before light. You have to have
I
thunder
mean,
before light.
face to face, like people
Mhm.
should meet, and people will wise up real fast. If you did that in a public place,
Hold on, guys.
just
Was
saying, in the
he
USA.
in the chat today?
Yeah, he was in that. He was in Lana.
Oh, okay. So if he was in the chat, then does that kind of
Was he?
exactly what
Yeah,
Lana's made of?
yeah. Look at Thunder Lightning said he called me a douche. Remember, I told you I seen that in Lana's chat today for
So
saying
Lana
that.
not
Yeah,
only was bashing us, but she also was entertaining Dave in the chat.
You
yeah.
mean the mods allow that? Really?
I guess because that thunder before lightning, I seen that. You have to. He said you're a douche. I did see that comment in there. I sure did. Yeah, and I wondered about that, how that happened. So yeah,
Wow.
wow.
So, if you had any doubt about whether or not Lana was connected to the Nasties, then I guess
So
she's
why would
complicit.
she lying to be over there in her chat if she wasn't
Well,
part of it?
I.
I don't get it.
But what was okay? The one thing was going on. The only thing I saw was something about that journal or something, and
About what?
she something about Chris Watts' sister's journal or something. I don't even know anything about.
Oh, I don't what he was talking about. Some Jamie's journal.
But
I don't what that shit's about. I don't know nothing
yeah,
about it.
and so I thought, she was calling him out on that. So I'm kind of confused. I'd have to go back. I don't really know what's going on. I'm like the last one to know what's going on.
Well, I just listened to the beginning of it, and only thing I know is that she plainly said a certain person brought it to her attention that
Yeah, I
Miss
heard that. I
Minza
heard that
and
part.
him
Yeah,
were feuding. I do remember seeing that, and from then on, it went into the nap
that's
thing,
not cool,
into the
man.
ice cream thing, and the nut thing, and it just and the pregnancies
Shit,
and moving day. It
who the
just
hell
started
is
off the
that?
whole thing. It did. Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
Who?
I don't know. There's someone stalking me out here.
Someone's what?
Maybe it's just that neighbor's. That's weird.
What?
Um, I'm in my car. Or maybe this person, that neighbor knows how to back up into his driveway. The guy's not even backing up into the driveway. What the hell are they doing? Maybe they're from a different country. They can't back their car up. And they're like, right, I'm in my car, and this person's driving onto the sidewalk.
Side of the easement?
Um, you know, he can't, like, I know the neighbor knows how to back up into his driveway. This guy can't, I don't think it's the neighbor.
Or maybe he had a cocktail.
That's weird. Who the fuck is? I'm sorry to. Who is that?
Oh,
Um,
don't get paranoid now. You're gonna have me sitting here climbing the walls if you do that. No, I mean, yeah.
I think we should do a public plea for both Lana and Dave to stop the bullshit.
save me. Just kidding.
To just stop the
No.
bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that person, if they went to Lana, not saying the exact truth, and not, I mean, things can end up deadly, like my life or something. Yeah. That's not cool.
Are you serious, Lee? He was trying to say that MM misunderstood him. I don't think she misunderstood what was being said.
Yeah, what part did I misunderstand? The mismenopausal part, Davo?
Yeah, yeah, Miss Menopausal. Yeah,
That's not
that
normal.
she
That's
hit
not
her
normal
head, fell off her broom, and
behavior.
hit her head. Yeah, really.
Yeah, and I'm saying these women have to be abused to think it's normal behavior. That's not normal.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not.
exactly right. If a woman is sitting there going, "Oh, Dave, she's just jealous of
You're
you,"
such a.
talking to Cindy, like, are you
I love the
kidding me?
way men get into that. I love listening to her going back and saying, "Oh, it's cool."
But if that's what a woman is doing to try to justify his bad behavior, then
Hmm.
yeah, I
They
highly
probably
doubt.
got two black eyes or something. They're used to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yep,
something wrong because it sounds like those women are abused. I'm gonna be honest. I'm
yeah,
not.
I think so too.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Well, that's the one. Actually, the one that was she did talk about that KK's channel and another one being that was the one I wanted to go there and listen to till all of this stuff happened. I mean, gosh, yeah,
I mean, there are people you can have fun with, but obviously not with somebody that is that volatile, and explosive. You just can't.
Here's an
It's
example of
yeah.
scary.
I do remember that, Nick, and I do remember her saying that there was some weirdo stalking her in a video from yes from England. Yeah, yeah.
I
I
want to give
had emails from a woman that was scared. Okay, that was on here, and
Mhm,
you know which one I'm talking about.
mhm.
I want to give Dave a good example of how to be a man. Justin Lee reacts. I have said things like, I think he's a friend of Christopher Watt's brother-in-law. And I've said things like, I don't know, you guys, I think he might be a scumbag attacker. And I've said things like, oh, he shouldn't have his kids on camera. He shouldn't have his kids up there at all. You know? And
I
I've said
tested. That's you're right, and he's a gentleman.
Mhm.
and I've said things like, come on, come on.
Come on now, yeah.
And I've
Yeah,
told
Justin's cool.
but he can never know what a pop is. You know, I have razzed that kid. I have razzed that kid repeatedly, and he laughs and he
I
razzes
know.
me here and there, and we
Mhm.
razz back and forth, and it's not a
Yeah,
big.
Yeah, and he even posted you as one of the most beautiful women, woman creator in true crime. Yeah, he did.
that
Even
was.
after y'all
Yeah,
were
he
like
did.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that was really
did.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he talked about that wisp of hair in front of my
Yes.
face,
Yes, he
and
did.
he delivered.
Well, and the cleavage. Yeah,
He
no, it was
delivered
cute. It was cute. It was cute.
that beautifully. He read his words just right. Okay,
Yeah.
Read
No,
his
he
words
really
just
is a
right.
gentleman. He is. Nice,
he's a
very
gentleman.
nice. Guy. He really is.
He's a good person. I'm sure he's an excellent father. And
Yes. Oh, his kids are sweet. Well, I only saw a picture of the little boy in the little thumbnail. Cute.
he is more mature at
Mhm.
probably half Dave's age than
It's a
Dave.
choice. I
Yeah,
mean, he could change. He could change right now. You know, it's a
let me tell you
choice. I
something.
think.
Justin fully admits, he discusses it, openly discusses, he was sexually abused as a child.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
whole thing making excuses for Dave. No, no,
Mhm.
not anymore. I spent a lot of time feeling really bad for Dave. I'm not going to feel
Mhm.
bad now if he's going to
I
be.
know. I did a reading for him. I know. I felt bad too. I did. I really did. And I
I'm,
said he was a gentleman. I mean, I did. I thought he was a gentleman, and that hurt me. You know.
but
Um.
after the way he's acting, I'm not using that as an excuse for him. I think too often, especially women, I think in our culture, we are conditioned to make excuses for abusive behavior. Justin is not an abuser.
Yes.
Dave, in my opinion, is terribly abusive against women.
Right. And I think maybe women should question why they are behaving that way. Maybe it's good that you are bringing that up because more than likely it's stemming from an abusive relationship. It has to be why they tolerate that.
A woman who actually subscribes to that bozo and you think that what he's doing is okay, then you really need to take a look and see whether you are accepting bad behavior from the men in your life.
Yeah.
He would get a lot more followers and subscribers if he would apologize.
Well,
If
let's
he
And if he would
apologized,
say he was wrong, people would love him.
if he apologized and if he continued with the way he was acting, where he'd hop up on the panel and chat and talk, he was getting support that way. But if he wants to
Yes.
just sit there and read his scripts from the scumbag attackers, then people are going to see through his crap. And I've got news for you. I don't think his subscribers are actual. I think a lot
No.
of those subscribers in there are fakes who have multiple profiles and they're just part of the scumbag attacker group.
And you know, I I don't want to get numbers by making anybody feel bad. That's not, you know, sure if you go that way, people love that, but I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, I
This,
noticed that even AD, Dave, many others, they claim, Alice Cooper's another one, they claim to have so many members or so many subscribers, but then they end up with a handful of people actually talking. And the ones who are actually, and I mean in the chat, the ones who are chat, well, we know already. Star Mama's really good about knowing how many of them have a bunch of alt accounts.
oh yeah, and you can buy them too. I mean, I
Yep,
that we knew that years ago. I mean,
there's Star Mama in the back.
I never even made one alt account.
let's
Never
see.
did.
I've never bought a sub or a
I
whatever.
no, I
Yeah,
never. No, uh, every
crazy.
number is real. Unless somebody else is doing it, but then they look at that, they check that out.
They know. YouTube knows, I think.
So I
Yeah.
think what we should do is maybe advise Dave to watch Justin's videos to learn how to be a man. Because Justin knows how to treat women.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's it. Maybe we should teach Dave to or advise Dave to go over to Justin's channel and just watch.
Mm.
You think it's the culture?
No, I think it's him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we're conditioned to accept bad behavior. We make excuses. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. Somebody told me though about that area, the country or continent, I guess it is,
Yeah.
that I can't imagine everybody there acts like that.
Well, I'm sure not everybody, every man in Australia acts like him. Heaven
well,
forbid.
here's the other part of it, you
I'm
guys.
not going.
Let's just say that he was like living in a cave and he came out of his cave and then he, punch someone, he would soon learn there's a boundary. You aren't allowed to punch someone,
Hmm.
right? So he is, coming from his caveman ways or something, and he's calling women the C word. And he's getting some pushback because women are standing up saying this guy's got issues if he thinks it's okay to call women the C word. So at that point, he has a choice of being an adult who learns and says, gee, maybe I shouldn't be calling women a C word,
Mhm.
or who doubles down and calls more women the C word, you know?
Right.
So,
But
it,
maybe he'll get help. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it might. Some people are so far gone they might need professional help. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
well, I think what he needs first is for intelligent adults to stand up and say, Dave, it's time for you to apologize and it's time for you to stop acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. I will not condone that. I
I think
I
he's going to
don't.
lose support. I really do. I think he's going to lose support if he keeps going. And I've seen it over the last 4 years. The scumbag attackers, when somebody acts the way he's acting, the scumbag attackers aren't going to keep him held up for very long.
Right. Exactly.
You know, look at what happened to Guacamole. Every time she acted out of bounds, then
Well,
they,
she look at Alice. Look at old Alice too. Same thing.
yeah, same
Same
thing.
thing. Those when they have those meltdowns like that, people don't like it when it becomes a
No,
repeat
Yep,
episode. You know.
yep.
no.
Right now, Dave's getting support from people who are feeding him a bunch of bullshit and telling him
Yeah.
what to do and egging him on and playing the little game.
And doesn't he know? Like they might be even laughing at him. I don't know if they are.
Oh, they're
So,
laughing at him big time. The fact that he'll get in front of that camera and say some of the things he says,
oh my god!
they're
Can you
probably,
imagine if they put that on TV? And they could. I mean, the Me Too movement. You never know. I'm telling you, people watch because I didn't know they were watch. The history producer was watching. Yeah, I didn't know that. They do watch. You never know. But do you really think if you want to if you're planning a documentary and you act that way, you're never gonna get it aired. I'm gonna promise you that. Nobody will take that chance because it's gonna come back. Oh, you support women abusers. That's what would be said. You will not get it aired.
I'm beginning to question whether or not he even does his own videos.
And it could be good, you know. Is it that hard? Even if you're a monster, you know, for 2 hours you could be nice, I think.
Well, Dave has been nice for a long time. I've actually enjoyed talking with him many
Yeah,
times.
I really did too. And I thought I watched him on here and I thought he was nice.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on, you guys. The three of us are talking, and we're talking about the case, and
And something positive too. I didn't say anything bad.
we're continuing the discussion, and that's what Dave is supposed to say.
I like the good behavior, not you know, you could like the good and hate the bad behavior. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
that's all
Rule
I'm
break.
trying to say.
Rule breaker. Yes, I knew who you were. I can usually figure out who people are.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Star Mom is the glossary of alt accounts. Let me tell you.
I mean, I would probably think most people that are angry probably are very sad and they could just talk about it. Yeah.
Well, there's an underlying emotion to the anger. The anger just piggybacks on
Yeah.
Yeah.
sadness, betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, something it's deeper than this. It has to be, and it's very sad. I'm sure.
But I think we're missing
So,
the point. He's going by what he's told to do. I think they're
Yeah.
using him.
yeah, that's what I mean. And they're they're telling the truth. And these people are encouraging bad behavior, and they're laughing at them.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly right. And it is very much like guacamole. I think if Dave wants to wonder about his future on YouTube, he should check out Guacamole's channel.
Hmm.
You know, Dave seems to think that he's like the little mini star or something of Watts, island, they call it.
I
I
think he
really
thinks he's going to
believe,
reveal breaking news like somebody else has all the time, and it's going to make him popular. Is what I think.
well, he keeps talking about stuff that we've already talked about.
I
It's
know.
like,
Yeah.
It's like you sat back and
Funny.
waited for it, just like you did over there at that channel. It was the same old, same old. Sorry,
Yeah,
it was just a little
exactly.
worded a little differently. Oh,
But
that's
what he
all.
doesn't realize is that when the scumbag attackers get tired of their Dave type people, then they pull out any support. Well, he already had it happen to him with all that stuff with those. Wasn't he doing like weird pictures and weird phone calls and stuff? They already did it. They already, he's already gone through it where he got too far out of line and we reeled him back in. So he shouldn't be surprised, I guess, the next time they go ahead and reel him back in.
I don't know. Like, if I was a guy, I'd be really popular on YouTube because there aren't that many guys, you know.
Yeah.
This is a time for a guy to come along and just, they could really get a lot of subscribers if they talk about the case.
But he doesn't know the case. That's the problem.
No, like straight up.
Oh,
He
blonde
has
light. Yeah, you look. Yeah, he knows the case. Yeah.
he has a gorgeous voice, and I'm sure he's good looking.
He is probably the hottest man on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd probably be throwing money at him too.
Yeah.
Only if you could do it.
I actually was going to say he's probably the one that does have the balls of steel. Actually,
I know.
man.
There's Paula with her balls again.
I'm sorry, but that just bugged me. I can't get past that. I'm sorry. Just like the checks and eyes, and I just can't get past them. There are certain things that stick, and I don't get past them very well. And the pull up. Don't forget about the pull up. I can't get past that either. Certain things just go. Nope, that don't make sense. Nope, nope, not letting that go.
Your bullshit meter is rotating, right? Your radar, your bullshit
Yeah, my
radar.
radar is right in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you guys have
Sure.
her, but man, did I have a good dinner. Thank you so much, Paula.
Well, I wish I could have cooked it for you,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm encouraging good eating habits, I guess. So that's something.
Yeah, I had salmon last weekend. So yeah, or a couple of days ago, I guess it was.
Yeah.
I just love
Saturday
it.
was.
It's my
I love
favorite.
it too.
It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I love salmon. I really do.
I've noticed something interesting. I don't feel like ice cream anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was craving it, but remember when you
I
guys?
know. I like it though, but I
I
haven't
think
had it in a
I
while.
do burst your bubble about that. Yeah.
You told me
Sorry.
that Christopher Watt's wife's ice cream, her favorite ice cream was the same as mine.
Now that chocolate mint. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't craved it since.
Alright,
I don't
where my
know.
son
I'm
gets the
sorry,
cough.
but it's
They
the
make
truth.
homemade strawberry ice cream. I mean, but they really do. It's like a little ice cream parlor shop. And original, like remember those old seats that would come down, and they still have like all. It's just I don't know. I guess nostalgia. I like
The
that kind of
last time
stuff.
that I craved strawberries and ice cream was
Mm.
pregnant with my first baby.
Yeah, strawberries. I don't know. I love strawberry ice cream.
Well,
My favorite.
I needed to have actual strawberries, and that was my craving.
Yes.
Was like I wanted strawberries and I wanted ice cream. And
Yeah.
I actually back then, it was a lot of years ago. Back then, stores weren't open all the time like they are now.
Back then, you made your own, didn't you?
Well, back then, well, I was working full time, and so like I don't know if I was, dang, I wish I could. It was just out of the blue. I suddenly wanted strawberries and ice cream.
Uh-huh.
So it isn't like now stores are open all the time, so you could
Yeah.
run it any time of the day or night. But I remember looking over at my husband saying, "I really, really want strawberries," and I really, really want ice cream. And he did. He did. He went out driving all over creation trying to find me strawberries and ice cream.
When I was growing up, the stores weren't open on Sunday.
Yeah, same
They
here.
closed them down, and there weren't no restaurants. Nothing was open hardly at all on Sunday because that was a day to be with your family and go to church and
Yeah, same here.
to rest. That's just the way it was.
When my kids were
And
little, the stores still weren't open on Sunday.
you couldn't even buy liquor on Sunday. Back when I was growing up, you couldn't.
Yep,
Just saying.
you're
Just
right.
couldn't.
In Pennsylvania, I think just within the last couple of years, you can on Sunday. Because they have state stores.
Yeah.
Now they have like one and some like grocery stores.
Well, see, back when I'm originally from,
It's
you
a
could buy.
Commonwealth.
You buy your liquor in the grocery stores or in Walmart.
Now
Here, you have to go to the liquor
after I
store.
think
Yeah.
5 years ago, I think. But I don't drink because the influence went back.
Such a delay.
Not
Yeah.
that if I had a date with somebody like that straight up, I would have whatever. Yeah, I'm not like a freak. I'll have a glass of wine if I had a date. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't care anything. The last drink I had was, my gosh, 3 years ago, I think.
I know it was about that for me
I
too.
had a,
A
I
beautiful
had
life.
a strawberry daiquiri 3 years ago. Yeah. Last time I had anything to drink that alcohol in it.
I like to have a glass of wine once in a while.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong
that's
with
nice
that.
to have. It is.
It's
Yeah.
good for your heart. I have burgundy wine, but I haven't been cooking though either. But that's a good wine to cook with too.
Yes.
It's good for your heart. It's good to have in case you need it. But I don't know. The way my back is, I think it's the sulfates. It inflames it. So
Yeah.
So let's do this. I'm going to say something.
Okay.
I think Christopher Watts was also moving out that day. I think it was moving day for all of them.
Yep. I think you're right.
yeah.
I think Christopher Watts and Bella and Cece were moving in with Ronnie and Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, Ronnie and Cindy said, "Oh, he told us that he was going to get bunk beds for the girls, right?"
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
Well, wait. He was getting what?
Bunk
He
beds
said he
for
was
the girls.
looking for an apartment,
Oh,
and he was going to get bunk beds for the girls.
Wow.
Well,
yeah.
he never mentioned
Interesting.
anything about the pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
Except the
Nope.
other things he said.
Never mentioned it.
And the whole time over the summer, was he looking for an apartment? No.
No, not really.
No.
Nope.
I think he was moving in at his parents' house. I think the girls were supposed to be there. And I think that's exactly why SHIT hit the fan on August 13th. That's just my opinion.
No.
I think she knew she was losing everything. And
Yeah, I mean, that's what was happening. Yeah.
I do believe that she did say that to Christopher Watts. He told his mother that she said she would make him pay for this and he would never see the girls again.
Mm-hmm.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And
That's
the
very
whole thing
sad.
about Discovery and how we look to Discovery to find out the information and stuff, the Discovery is only part of the picture because
Yes.
a lot of what we can learn about this case is what is not Discovery. For example,
That's. Mm-hmm.
Cindy Watts.
Yeah.
There should be a lengthy interview there from Cindy Watts and Ronnie Watts, and there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But we get to hear from everybody else all about how great the MLM is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thought.
Yeah. Well, I think your thought's pretty close myself. That makes sense. Total sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
people could say, "Oh, there's no proof." Yeah, there's proof. They had no money to pay their mortgage.
Right.
They don't. They put a lock. Well, they'll lock the door. Actually, I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be foreclosed. They're going to auction the house with whether you're in it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
they were leaving. I think they were leaving. I think that Christopher Watts was going to be hopping in one of those pickup trucks
Yeah.
after the Lexus got dropped off at the lease place.
yeah, because I wouldn't even have went there, but you pulled that out of me because I knew he claimed it. I mean, he detailed it.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember this? Look at what Bassett Baby's saying. When the police were there and they checked those cabinets,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they were empty.
Yes.
Good. Oh, that's a great find too.
Yes. It is. Mm-hmm.
And when somebody was looking for drugs, probably, I'm not sure, in the kitchen, in the actual
Yeah.
kitchen cabinets, those
Mm-hmm.
look pretty empty too.
Yeah. Wow. Well, those boxes
That's,
were sure boxed up nice and neat downstairs. The boxes were
they sure
Yes,
that
were.
she's been working
and
on. Yeah.
Chris Watts did it. I just found.
She
But you were
found it.
right about that. But you were right. It was Chris who did all of that, and then he took pictures.
Yeah.
So
So think about this. When they start attacking us even worse, then
Mm-hmm.
we'll know we're right.
Yes. Well, I'm sure that's going to be coming within the next couple of days because we've
uh,
discovered a few more things.
and it was me who questioned that picture. I took that screenshot. So
Mhm.
um uh, about the pregnancy thing because I
Yes.
think that was and you
You're
know
right about
it.
that. Yeah.
So I'll take the blame for that. And why I questioned it because look, if you look at June 20th and then
Mhm.
you look at well the other picture of the
Mhm.
ultrasound, which was dated 4/4, and
Mhm.
they changed it to 8/8 on Netflix. Well, we know June comes after 4 by the month of 2018. One's April, one's June. So why would the baby be an embryo in June?
Mhm. Yep. 'Cause, well,
And they put they made it so blurry you couldn't see the date. But somebody, it was authentic. It was 4/4, and Netflix changed it to 8/8.
yeah, they did.
So I don't know what that
Yeah.
Why
means.
would they change the date? That makes no sense. Why they would have changed the date?
It it doesn't, and that's why I question because when she was going to New Orleans, that was that she went over to the kitchen sink or whatever, and it's like to me it looked like somebody that was pregnant or was pregnant, you know. And I asked our mama, and then she showed you. So that was me, yeah. But that's based on also the discovery, and if you put that together, does it make sense? Did she have a miscarriage? I don't know. Um, we don't even know she was pregnant because she didn't have care. She didn't have prenatal vitamins. They're usually prescription,
Yeah,
and you
where's the
can't
big
get
bottle?
That's a good
vitamins.
point. That's a good point too.
Yep.
Well, the only thing that we really have for proof is because of what was in the so-called autopsy about the fetus still being in the sac intact. That's the only thing that we have.
Yeah,
We don't. I'm beginning to question the autopsies. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I am. I just am.
yeah. And I think, yeah, that's why I wanted to. You made me think about that too, Miss Nutsa.
No,
Yes, it was
Basset baby,
possible.
it didn't. The autopsy did not say what the fetus was. They could not determine the sex of the fetus.
No, they
That's
could
my
not.
understanding, right, Mia? They couldn't determine the sex of the
Correct.
fetus. Yes,
They could not.
they could not. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we don't know. Could have
I
been.
mean,
We
you're
don't know.
talking like the
Yes.
size of an orange, and no, they really honestly they couldn't.
But
But
I
here's
Yes,
can't
something
help
pumpkin
it.
too.
That
spice.
picture, that video you found in April of
Mhm.
21st of her in that video being that, I mean, she looked very pregnant. I'm sorry, but she did.
That's why
It's
I
just
asked.
obvious.
Yeah, I mean, somebody that I had one child, so one pregnancy, so well the miscarriage, but that was too early. I mean, I wasn't that big, and there are different. If it, if you've had 5 pregnancies, you probably have more experience, Dharma.
Hmm.
Um, so so I
Yeah.
wondered.
does it look like somebody that was pregnant or it was weight?
Sure did to me. It didn't look like just weight because she had hips, you know. She really, I never seen any of her where she looked like she had that big of a stomach on her, except where she was doing the different pregnancy poses of when she was pregnant with the other two. I mean, she looked very pregnant to me, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm sorry if she, had a miscarriage. I mean, I just don't know what happened.
no,
That's all sealed. That's the problem. There are problems with this case, and I can't say Chris Watts did it all because, and and this is proven in Discovery, where they don't know whose fingerprints were on that trash bag and on it was a blue nitrile glove, I believe.
you want Holly wants me to explain the ultrasound. Well, the only thing I can tell you about the ultrasound was that she went to one of those places that you can go at these strip centers and stuff where you just have them for those gender reveal parties. If they only thing they can do is tell you the sex of the baby. They cannot tell you any medical information about how far along you are, due dates, if there's anything wrong with the baby, anything like that. That's the only thing I can tell you. And the date on that was 4/4 and it got
Yeah.
changed. So I don't know. That's all I can tell you about that. She never had one done by her OB doctor. Her OB doctor, they interviewed her and she said she canceled all previous appointments and she was due to see her that Monday and they were going to try to determine a due date, how far along she was, and the sex of the baby. That's what she said. That's all I can tell
And,
you about that.
and she would have been considered a high risk pregnancy. Why wouldn't you be in there much earlier? And here's something else. You know how we heard when Chris got there, she was violently ill?
Yeah.
Well, I just went over the timeline transactions the last live stream. That was July 31st. She was, she's telling Chris Watts, can you wake me up at 5 a.m.?
Hmm.
And they went to a carnival the next day, August 1st. Does that
Yeah,
sound
that's
like
true.
someone that was
Yeah.
vomiting all night? No.
I didn't understand that either after you showed me that. I thought,
I
oh
I was
wow.
I was shocked too.
Yeah, me too.
And
But
here's
think
something
of that.
else.
Think about that.
Yeah.
What we know from the discovery is that they got into some argument for like 3 hours in the evening. She sat there having a talk with him for like 3 hours straight. Okay. And then
Mhm.
what we know is that they didn't sleep together that night, and evidently they weren't sleeping together. Then we also know that when they went to Myrtle Beach, that her parents didn't go at the same time. They split their shift, okay? I'm sorry, they split the days that they went. So they had the mom there for 2 days or whatever. They had the dad there for 2 or 3 days, but different days. So what does that tell you? I mean, we're being told that she was so sick, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But about it, if she's not so, I mean, she obviously wasn't so sick that she couldn't stand there and argue with him for 3 hours straight.
Well, we were
Mhm.
told that, but we're also told in her own text messages that she took a shower and that he knew that she wanted to have sex and he wouldn't touch her. So you can't be that sick and want to have sex. That don't make sense to me at all. That's just
No.
crazy.
And you know
No.
the whole spotting and cramping thing and all of
Uh,
that.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you'd be
talking
afraid of
about.
having a
Yeah.
miscarriage if you're ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, with all of them in the group who claim to be nurses, sure seems to me that one of them might have heard of the idea of a tubal pregnancy, right?
Yeah. Hey, didn't somebody say there was when she was in North Carolina that don't didn't somebody have a picture of there being a for sale sign up, and then when she got back or something, the sign wasn't up, but the real estate lady had talked to both of them or something like that.
Oh,
Didn't there was
so
something to that?
she did call, and it's in Discovery. She did talk to Ann Meadows, the realtor
Yeah.
from Arizona, on when she got there on Friday, August 10th.
In
Hmm.
Colorado.
Yeah.
She called when she got to Arizona though, because she
Yeah.
got in pretty early.
Yeah, that Friday. Yeah, because
It
but
was on
before that,
Christopher White's list for him to call Ann Meadows too.
well, he did because because she asked him if they ever finished the basement. He said no, that the basement was still not finished because she needed update information on the house. I
Yeah,
do
the
remember him talking to her too.
Yeah.
thought
Yeah,
said something like a quick sale. It's called a short sale, and I think he
yeah,
may have
something like
spelled it.
that.
I think they were probably contacting mortgage lender and the realtor to say if this baby sold now. I think that Christopher Watts was leaving that day also. And you remember how NK and Christopher Watts had a really long phone conversation,
Hmm.
like 111 minutes or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That could have simply been because he was moving the next day. Because
wow.
That's interesting.
I'm telling you guys, there was something within a few weeks of the tragedy happening that an employee of that same company said he was no longer working there already. It wasn't just because of the tragedy. He was
Wow.
already out of there. So there's something fishy. I think it was moving day for him and the girls to go to Ronnie and Cindy's.
That makes a lot of sense, and
It does.
I could not figure out why they were so quick to discredit Cindy, and that kind of makes sense. They didn't want the kid there at the house with her. That's the only thing
And
I can fit. That's right.
we were told by a family member that it was an ongoing family matter for that one court hearing,
Yes.
and that was scheduled for shortly after the tragedy. Maybe the stuff was getting moved out, and maybe that whole child rights thing was going to be terminated, and maybe that was his ticket out of hell.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, I've heard some controversy on uh, how they come up with the baby. The only one I heard anybody say anything about the baby's name was her brother. He said that she had that name, and her family said they had that name picked out. I never heard anybody else say that he picked that name out. I didn't hear a friend say anything about a name, just her family
She
members.
picked. Yeah, she picked the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I highly doubt that any child coming from her womb would have been given the name of the coworker that he was doinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. There's nothing. No. There's nothing
There's
like
no
that.
way a woman is going to name her baby the same
No.
name as who her husband is.
No. That. And NICO. I looked it up. Now it could be either male or female with the C.
Yes.
But you know what I mean with NK having that name?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I
There's
thought
reason
that
for
was
it.
odd. Yeah. But also that it's been directed toward another person with the name similar to that, and that's kind of crazy too, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
way out
know.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's way out there, but he could calm her down. That's for sure.
Right. But I mean, if that's the case, that's pretty gross.
It is gross.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
at
I
this,
don't. I
but
don't.
anymore,
Yeah.
this
I
case
think she
is
just
so
liked
crazy.
Italian
I don't
names.
know. I don't know. This case is just nuts. I don't know anymore.
It
I don't want.
is.
It is. It's just. It's just bizarre, and I don't know what to think anymore about anything. I really don't.
Well, I
As
hope that
far as
Dave watches Justin's videos and learns how to mature a little bit. And I really hope that Lana stops laughing at a bunch of women who are being attacked. I don't think it's funny.
well, do
I,
you remember when Justin called him Dad, and he
yeah.
said, "Don't ever call me that again." Yeah, I'm not sure why, but he didn't want to be called that.
Well, there was
Oh.
even a joke that I was hot for Dave and that Justin was our spawn or something.
Oh my
And,
God.
and I told Justin not to worry because there's no way in hell that Dave would be his dad if I was his mom. So, but I do I do hope for Dave that
You
he.
do stand
Thought it
your
was you and
ground,
AD.
Miss
I thought it was
Nancy.
you and AD.
The, I mean, I give you a lot of credit for that. For
Yeah.
I do hope for Dave's sake that he realizes that he's being used by the scumbag attackers right now. You know, I
Hmm.
said this about Guacamole, and she didn't listen, and man, she really got treated
that's
like shit by
yeah,
the scumbag attackers.
right. And the one I remember I watched, Star Mama's play. It was on her playlist. I usually don't watch that person, but
Oh, it's when
the
you
what?
and remember him, Em, when you went over there and set the record, and Honey Badger went over
Oh, I
there.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
see. I just heard this. The one that you had. It was
yeah,
Honey Badger said, somebody's playing both you and Miss Benson,
yeah.
and they're
What?
creating
You guys
they're
talking?
creating this drama and getting both of you mad at one another, and they're sitting back laughing. And
Yeah.
I believe people do that crap.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
I mean,
same scumbag attackers. Guacamole was listening to the same scumbag attackers that Dave's listening to.
Exactly. And I
But
know
they
that
ain't
because I was
one.
there.
uh,
I know that for 100%
And
fact.
that's what Guacamole did. She said she made these accusations that I was harassing her. I've
Mhm.
never harassed Guacamole.
that's what they do.
That's what they
They
do.
Yeah, I can tell you that. I told her to leave MM, set the record, to leave Dr. B, leave AD, Daniel Bishop. I said, leave those people on those channels alone. Why do you need to go over there and bother? They're entitled to say whatever they want to. And she come at me like a raging maniac, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
And
who she was, and all of a sudden she's
I didn't
posting
either.
this threatening video saying, "I'm coming for ya," like a
yeah,
crazy woman.
yep, that's what she did. Yep. That's after
Uh,
I left, though, man. I'm telling you. She was
it's
warned. She was
scary.
warned by four girls that were right about everything that finally ended up happening to her. We told her that this was not going to end well and that people were going to turn on her that were her good, close mods that she looked up to, and these people she wanted to take their word for everything. We told her you can't trust people without proof, and she did, and look where it got her. It didn't end
Well,
well
and
for
Right.
her.
what's
It
going to
didn't.
happen today? Because there's
So,
a long list of these people that this has happened to. The scumbag attackers are not nice people.
Nope.
They're setting these people up to go ahead and they use them, they jerk them around. Not that I feel
mhm.
sorry for Dave at this point, but he doesn't seem to get it that they're just using him. If he could just honestly research the case himself, learn about the case, that would help, and then discuss the case, he would be
Right.
so far ahead than the rest of the bunch.
Yeah.
As for Lana, I just hope that she could just focus on true crime cases and stop trying to get a kick out of watching women get treated like shit. Because there's nothing funny about it, Lana. Nothing funny about it at all. You want to sit over there and say that
I
father,
think it seems like it
father
was the
was a
person who
stubborn?
came to her fabricated something. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
care. I don't care because she is the
I
one who
don't.
sat there in that video mocking us and
Yeah,
absolutely
she goes to him.
lied. When you take things way out of context and then you encourage your chat to be abusive,
Yeah, no, if it bothers you, no, I'm sorry. It's your, yeah.
so she can sit there and think that she is some sort of victim of that father, what's his face, and how
Um,
people are picking on her. Well, guess what, Lana? If people are picking on you, maybe you shouldn't be out there trying to pick on other people.
are you talking about that Father Snuggles or something? Or
Something like that. I have no
yeah,
Snuffles, or
Snuffles,
I don't,
Snuffles or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know who that is,
I
but
don't
yeah,
either.
sounds
I have
scary.
no idea. I haven't heard of any of those people. Well, I've heard of
I just recognize the name. That's it.
I
I
recognize the name though, so yeah.
well, I heard of the ones who were going after her because as soon as I was talking nice to both sides, then they started going after me. So
Oh, is that right? Oh, jeez. See, that always scares me because you don't know if it's like somebody's creating drama, and you don't. I don't know what to. It's
well, what I
bad.
do, Mia, and what I've done over the last 4 years is when somebody does something really bad, I
Mm,
pretty much figure that's what they're made of. Like I can forgive a lot. I can trust right off the board. I can forgive a lot.
mm.
But when someone does stuff like what Lana did today, nah. She's one of them, pure and simple. You know, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always try to treat people with respect. I actually was worried about her. I actually spent time worrying about her and trying to encourage her and trying to be supportive of her. And she pulls her shit today. No, no, she is who she is. Not impressed. Not okay with it. I think her and Dave both should seriously remove their bullshit and go, find some other. Really, if Dave would learn the case, that would be a good step for him. If he would watch Justin on how grown men act, that would be a good step for him. I think Lana, she does a great job with these cases that she's doing. She does a great job. She should just
Yeah,
stick with that
she's a
and
great
forget.
personality. Yeah, she does. She gets pulled. I know, like they pull her, and not this today, but I mean, like in the past,
Hmm.
people pull her into this junk. Is like, and they distract her because
Yes.
she is very bright,
Well, let
and
me
it's
tell you
very sad. They always
something.
try to
A lot of
distract
people get
everybody.
pulled into stuff. That's true. But
Yeah, and I'm older
mm,
than she is, and I don't know.
Well,
I
you
don't,
know who Crafton and Kim are?
yes.
That Kim,
Yeah.
Crafton, I think Crafton's good with music, and that's good, and he's funny. But that Kim, she's really good with true crime cases. Like
Oh, is she?
she did a great job with the Robert Durst trial. She did a
Oh,
great job, and I,
oh,
I tried to encourage her and say, please, because we need good true crimers, right? And
yes.
all they do is sit over there doing drama. It's like, dang, that's a waste. And then another one, you're gonna laugh at me, you guys. Natasha
Oh,
Cooper. Natasha Cooper kicks butt when it comes to true crime.
Mm.
She does a
and
good
I
job.
I already complimented her. She and she has a way of doing a drama too. She's funny. Like
She
she could
is
be a
funny.
comedian. She's
Exactly.
good.
She is funny. She has the facial expressions that can make
Yeah. I honestly mean that. There's these people. Well, would watch you and Star Mama, and I was like, you could have your own show, and I really mean that, like on TV.
well,
You know.
I think Star Mama could be the next Rachel Ray. I really do.
Yes. Yes.
Oh dear.
Honestly,
But
cooking and
they
true crime, but
there.
you
They have talent.
but
And
you need somebody to, not to get burned or anything.
Mhm.
as long as I'm laughing because Star Mama and I both got burned.
Yeah, we did. Literally
Oh,
burned.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my
Me
God.
with
Yeah.
I got attacked by curling iron. She got attacked by a pot roast in an
yep.
oven. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Y-
after Star Mama's cooking show about a roast.
y-
So see,
I
it's
think
just like the title says, it's all Star Mama's fault.
I did anybody ever do this? My microwave. Okay, paper towel, potato in there, right? Baked potato. I washed it off and put like holes in with a fork,
Yeah.
and I've done that many times. It literally there was a fire inside the microwave.
Oh my gosh. Oh
And
shoot.
I mean, I never in my life I didn't know what to do. I'm like, my son was Hammer James at the time. This was like a couple of years ago. Like, is that weird or what? He
I
was
think
like,
it's
Mom,
hilarious.
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Well,
Unplug it,
I learned
Mom.
something.
Unplug it.
I learned
well,
something, and my grandson seen it on TikTok or something.
Yeah.
You take this paper plate and you put about a little over a teaspoonful of oil, vegetable oil or olive oil in the bottom, and you take and you crack an egg open in there, and you put another paper plate on top, upside down,
Mm.
and if you cook it about in the microwave about 35 seconds, you should have an over easy egg, and it
Oh,
works.
I
It
bet
works. It
that's
works. Yeah.
wow.
Hmm.
what I did is
Wow.
the little poached egg dishes that you have, the little like
Yes.
white glass. Um, I would put just one egg with a little drop of water. I mean, just like, I don't know, 1 or 2 ounces of just to put water on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And you put your egg in there. You put it in. It's not even a minute and a half, and you have a perfect egg.
Wow.
No, yeah,
I love poached eggs.
I
Me
do
too.
too.
I do.
Well, that's
They're
what
very good.
we love, poached eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know. We have that bond. Okay, I'm gonna
Well,
go ahead
but I
and
like salmon too. So yeah.
Oh, I love salmon.
oh, I
Yeah,
love salmon.
Yeah.
I
it's
will
good
sleep
for your heart.
really well tonight. Like I've been sleeping really good anyway, but I'm gonna sleep really well tonight after that salmon dinner. Oh, it was so good.
It is. It's really good for
What
your
is
nerve
that?
endings. Over.
Rule breaker saying I like jammy eggs. I wonder what jammy eggs are. Never heard of that.
Hmm.
What's a jammy egg?
Jammy eggs. I don't know what it is.
Jammy. So does it have like grape jelly on it or something? I don't know. But you
Oh,
know,
not
Mia, what was
and I don't put it in there. He was just trying it as an experiment egg. I usually fry them or scramble them, or poach them. I don't usually put my stuff in the microwave. But she said
Mia,
it takes the nutrients
Yeah,
out of the egg.
when you have
yeah,
a fire in your microwave, you should probably not use it until you get it checked out.
yeah. Well, and believe it or not, it was a newer one. My ex bought it, and it was brand new, but we got rid of it. Yeah,
Good. Because
it
once you have a
was.
fire in it, you
Pretty,
don't want to use it until you know for sure it's safe to use.
yeah, I mean, I didn't know too. It was like I never knew you could get a fire in the micro. I mean, these are high flames. I'm not joking. And I was kind of afraid to even unplug it because I didn't know if it was electrical.
Nuck and Thud says it takes the nutrients out of your egg
Yes.
to nuke
Uh,
them.
Yeah, I heard that.
Really?
Hmm, that's interesting.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
even like olive oil.
I usually take just some water and let it come to a boil, and I put
Mhm.
like a teaspoon of vinegar in there, and I put my egg in there. It keeps the white to the part of the poaching egg, and I usually just poach it in that water when I make one. That's the way I've always made mine.
Rule Breaker
Yeah,
says
on the stove.
cook the whites and leave the yolk like jam.
Oh,
Hmm.
mm, where you cook the
Oh,
white
so
and
it's
leave the
like
yolk like jam.
like
Oh, that's like
dippy
an over
eggs.
easy egg or an over medium. Yeah, I
Egg
like
over
that.
easy. Yeah, sunny
Mm.
side up.
Yeah, I like where they're like that. I can dip my toast in it. I like that.
I knew a girl who did. She went to culinary arts. She actually could. They had to like flip them in the pan
Yep.
Yeah.
and catch them
Yep.
to get it
Oh, I'm not
perfect
gonna
over
do
easy.
that.
I'm good at that.
I'm not even gonna tell you where my egg ended.
Well, I'm good at it. The trick I learned, Star Mama, is you have to really grease the griddle good.
Oh, really?
You have to put. I always use butter. You have to
I use
make
butter
sure.
when I fry 'em. Yeah.
Yeah, you make sure you have plenty of butter and you flip those babies. It's fun.
If you watch any of my cooking videos, you know I use butter. I just do a lot of butter.
So
Yeah.
Yep,
rule,
I like the butter too. Yep.
so rule breaker, you just told us something that I guess I never really thought about, but I remember when microwaves were first invented, and
Mhm.
we had a lot of concerns about that, about what would happen to the value of the food. You know?
You know who Road Breaker is? That's Meeser Mom. She used to go by Meeser Mom in here.
Okay,
Remember? Yeah.
You
okay.
have a great,
Been around for a long time.
remarkable memory.
Hmm.
Mm.
I actually didn't want a microwave when they first invented them because of the nutritional issues. You know, we were worried about what it was doing to the food.
Yeah, my parents. I don't think they have. They didn't have one. They didn't like them.
I finally got one, but my kids were getting kind of old.
Yeah, I have one. It's like I don't have time. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's certain things that I think probably are better. Like if you're making like a pot pie or something, to get a nice like the crust, things like that, in an oven, like my dad like.
Well, my
Yes.
mom and dad used to think that microwaves caused cancer, so you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I don't know.
a lot of people believe that. That's why I didn't want you to use your microwave after a fire, Mia, because if there's any kind of weird crack or anything, I don't know.
Yeah, that's I mean, I wasn't don't like.
No, thanks, nothing.
And you're if you're gonna make a baked potato, they don't come out as good if they're better in the oven.
Oh yeah,
They are.
I like baked sweet potatoes too, though. So.
Yep,
I
I
like
like.
sweet. I it's
Oh,
Mhm.
here we go again, bonding.
and
Okay.
they're so good for it.
I actually like baked sweet potatoes with a piece of salmon that has got a teriyaki sauce on it, which I will do in an upcoming video.
I was gonna say I like brown sugar on my baked potato on my
Yeah.
sweet potatoes.
Well, you'd like it on your salmon too, with a little bit of soy sauce and garlic and butter. Oh yeah, you'd like it.
Oh my
Hmm.
god.
Very
I like
good.
a lot like grind the pepper, maybe a little bit of like lemon, and just like a lot of pepper. But I
Yeah, I
Hmm.
like
like
to
lemon.
taste it. I don't. Some people do stuff with their steaks. I don't like steak sauce or anything.
Hmm.
I like a good steak.
Yeah, I do enjoy using pepper, but I try to watch salt because things are so
I don't
salty.
cook with. I never cook with salt.
Yeah,
Yes, Kelly. Brown sugar and marshmallows.
yeah.
Yes, and walnuts if
Oh
you can
yeah, the
eat
nuts
them.
too. I like that. And
Yeah,
butter. And butter.
yeah, butter. Yeah, butter definitely.
Well, you
And
guys,
brown
let's go
sugar.
ahead and get a beauty sleep now. And
You
man, I'm
guys are
glad you
fun.
straight up. I really appreciate it because
Thank you.
I think the
I
more they
just hate
attack
them
us,
posts.
what?
I just don't. Yeah, I always feel weird. I don't like to impose. That's
Oh no,
But
honey.
thank
No.
you.
Yeah, if the link's not there, then say, hey, give me the link.
You're
Um,
sweet. Thank you.
I really think that the more they attack us, the more we should talk about moving day and the picture from that video of the very pregnant belly. And
Yeah, and you really, honestly, it fits people. I mean, I didn't know if I'd say that a year ago, but it fits.
it
It does
fits.
fit.
Well, just
And
going back and
logically,
looking and watching a lot of her videos will open your
mhm,
eyes to a lot of things that
yeah.
I never thought
I
was
mean,
possible, you know?
they, they were going to foreclose. I mean, they're not going to just give you a
Yeah.
break. They're not. They can't. They were going to be 4 months on the
Well,
16th
and
of August.
even if there wasn't formal foreclosure paperwork set to take possession that day, I think
Hmm.
that they knew damn well that they were not going to be able to dig out. I think they had that 10 grand, and I think the 10 grand disappeared.
I think so too.
Well, if you remember what she said, she knew how to fix things, but she wasn't going to like it one bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
And maybe that's where that pregnancy went in April. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Maybe, but
wonder.
remember too that before she left for North Carolina, she posted a house for sale that would have been way beyond anything she could have afforded to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, she was still delusional with, but
Absolutely delusional.
yeah, I don't get. They had no. I don't even know how they bought that house. I mean,
Christopher Watts bought it himself.
Nuckins said, and now from food back to the watch. Yeah,
Christopher
here we
Watts
go.
bought the house himself before they got married. He would have had impeccable credit at that point because he didn't have her totally controlling
but
everything.
it's almost a $400,000 house, and they owe 392,000. Like
Right.
usually, people put money down.
He bought it with a first time homeowners special. She bought her
Hmm.
house in North Carolina for with the whole first time buyers, low interest, whatever.
But did you know? Did she?
You
She
know,
wouldn't
she
have to
that's
got a GI loan, did she? On that with her That's
No,
what her ex being in the military.
no,
I
no,
wondered about that.
I just don't. I
no.
think a realtor would laugh at me if I said, I'd like to have a house built. I have 4,000 to put down. I mean, I don't. I honestly don't get it. And this is after the market crash.
She,
I don't
well,
get
I
it.
don't think that she had honest paperwork going in because remember, who would have filled out the paperwork to confirm the income? She would have. She would have been the one filling it out where she worked, air quotes.
Right,
So,
but then they do like Equifax, like the whole three.
Look what Nuckin said. And now from the food back to the Watts, it must have been vintage
but
marshmallows.
she had less. She had something like less than 5% down. He
Yeah.
had he had less than 5% down, or he may have had 5% and then it was eaten up with closing.
Somebody had a co-sign for her. I'd love to see that paperwork.
So you know she lost money on the house in North Carolina, right?
Right.
Hmm. I
And
have a
so
weird theory. I probably should say it then.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, say your theory. I'd like to hear it.
Well, everybody wondered why the tombstones were like covered up with canvas, right?
Yeah.
What if the money was buried? Some money's buried in there.
Oh wow.
that's a
Remember?
good.
I
That's
don't know why it
actually
came to me one day, and it's like I
that's
don't know.
actually a good that's actually food for thought because that's been known to happen. Mhm. Wow.
Do you really think there is money?
Well,
I
he
don't
took it
know.
out. He did take it out supposedly out of his um
But what happens to 500,000 if she made that in 1 year? I mean,
no,
you
which I
can't
don't
put in the
believe that.
bank.
I don't
What?
think she I don't think
Uh,
she made that 500,000 like she said, like her brother said. No.
Mia, you don't think she ever made 500 grand, do you?
well,
Oh my gosh.
there's only
Are you going
well,
back to the thoughts we had on the stripping and stuff like that? The one
yeah,
thing that okay.
and and I forget how like before we even thought about that.
Yeah, being the call. Remember we talked about the escorts and because of the house
Yeah,
and all that, looking
yeah,
like it
Right, but
never
if
was
she
living.
was,
yeah. Oh, because she said I worked my ass off.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah,
right, but if
to get
she
that
That's
house. Yeah, she did
if
say
she
that.
was, do you really think she would be in that income level?
But I
Mm,
mean, what do
May
you
have
like
fabricate. Maybe
legally?
Junior
What do you do?
fabricated the amount because she said she made 100,000 and he fabricated it to sound like 500,000 to make it look bigger. I don't know.
Right,
That was
but
out of
say
his mouth, you know.
hypothetically, like anybody, like say if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing because you can't claim it on income tax, you'd have
Oh
to do
yeah,
something. You can't put it in a bank,
that's true. If you're
you
you
doing
know.
guys,
something you shouldn't be
you
doing.
guys are thinking she was making money, really?
Probably not, but I don't know, you know,
No, I don't
because you
think
hear
she
the
was
mom
when she was
saying
in that. I don't know how
she
she
opened
got
up
that
the
purse out.
suitcase, she said, and
Yeah,
she gave them cash or something.
yeah,
And
that
you
ten
can't
thousand
do
in.
that. You
Yeah,
guys, you can't do that. You cannot
yeah.
take cash to a closing.
That was really strange when she said that. I thought,
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
You can't.
yeah, I guess I do remember you saying that. Yeah, that's true.
They have to be able to track where the money came from. They're not going to take cash from somebody's suitcase.
yeah.
Right,
So
that's
where did
true.
that all come about the suitcase thing? Do you remember?
I just remember her mom saying it. I don't know if it was
That's what I thought that
someone.
she. That's what I thought that her mom said that when she actually paid, put the down payment with the cash in a suitcase, and they thought that was amusing or something. I don't remember the word actually used, but yeah. Well, we don't know. Again, we're just being told something. We don't know if it was true or not. You know?
I mean, some people have like those habits where they, you know, and if it's legitimate and you have like 10,000, you open up. It, you wouldn't just give it to builders because they're already paid somehow else. They're already paid.
Bassett, baby. I think that car that she was driving around actually belonged to the guy from Dirty South. That's what I think.
You think so? Wow.
I think that was his. If she was driving
Well,
that around, I think it was used to pacify her. Actually, I really do.
oh,
I
well.
think there's a lot more to that with other
Yeah,
things.
I would listen to you guys in the morning, and it made a lot of sense what was said. Yeah.
You listen to us in the morning, we make sense, but not at night.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
waking up, I would, 2 cups of coffee, and and sometimes I'd listen to a show twice,
Hmm.
because I might have missed something or whatever,
Yeah, that
or
embezzlement thing that stands out, bugs me. It
play
does.
chess.
Yeah, it does. That bugs me.
Yeah,
Because of the fact of that briefcase of money and her getting that house. I don't know. There's just some things out there. I can't put it together because I don't have any proof on it. So I don't
right.
usually go
There's
there.
Put it all
There's
together
no
for
proof.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
I can put it all together for you. I don't believe
Okay.
half of what we've been told. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. And
Yeah,
I think
probably.
that the facts are pretty clear. The logic and reason helps. And as soon as you can look at it and go, bullshit, then you can
Yeah.
pretty much see the timeline.
well.
Well, like I
uh,
said, there was
How
no
about
facts to
somebody
back it,
breaking?
so I couldn't go
Uh,
there.
no, there was somebody that broke in the house. I remember I covered that from her
Hmm.
Facebook post.
You believe
That
that?
I don't know. Do
I
you?
don't believe that
No,
for a second. I don't believe that
because
for a second. I think it was an insurance claim.
Do you really?
oh,
Oh, that's
I never
interesting.
thought of it.
I
Yeah,
wondered if stuff was marked as stolen or something. See, I never heard any more about it. Just somebody
she
tried to
she
break
did
in.
she did seem scared.
No, she
I mean,
didn't seem bitchy. She was mad because
oh,
her Watts had already headed out to Colorado and she was complaining that she was sick. She didn't feel good. She was sick. She supposedly had the stomach flu and was vomiting. And she said that she had to plan that wedding all by herself.
Yeah, the wedding. I
see,
remember that.
you know more. See, I don't have all that in my discover, or she didn't put all that in her Facebook, obviously.
Yeah.
So probably that's taken down. I never saw that.
So she was complaining about how he was out there already and she had to do everything herself. And then
Oh wow.
she suddenly had a break in, and her whole break in is a joke because I think if you think about it, she says that she left the house without her phone. Do you really think she left anywhere without her phone? I bet she took a shit with her phone. I bet she took a shower with her phone. I bet she had sex with her phone, meaning with her phone in her hand. Because Cindy Watts said she never let go of that phone. Never.
Well,
So I highly doubt she left the house without her phone. So she said she came back, she went in the house, and somebody was in the house
yeah,
because
she said there were 2 people in the
oh,
in
she
the
said two
bedroom.
people because the one I
That's what
read
I
said
understood.
one person, but she never
Maybe
saw.
I could have read it wrong. You know me.
She said she never saw them, but she just knew they were there, and she ran fast out of there. Baloney. Christopher Watts was far away. She was
She she
no,
told Mark.
yeah. And this is
Yeah.
this is the same woman who was claiming at the time to be in a nursing program that didn't exist. This was January of 2012 that we're talking about. And she
Right.
claimed that she was in a nursing program, and I researched that hot and heavy, and it did not exist. So,
Wow.
and then who starts a nursing program the same month that you decide to move far away? I mean, that makes no sense. Um, the whole time
No.
leading up to that, she supposedly bought the house in December of 2009. She was named in a lawsuit in January of 2010. She was dropped as a defendant. I think it's probably due to the fact that they would have found out she wasn't actually an owner like she claimed. And, just a few months before that, she posted on Facebook that she wanted a one-way ticket to someplace where nobody knew who she was.
Wow.
So I think she had some dirty dealings going on before.
But well, and Mark. Here's something. And he's in Discovery. That Mark Jameson. He's
Jameson, yeah.
He used to work at the Dirty South.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's in the discovery. I should try to pull that up.
Wow.
Honest to God, yeah, that
I
is weird.
yeah, that
Well,
that was some good information.
I was gonna say, Mia, I wouldn't post any of your discovery because there are a bunch of scumbag attackers who do not have the original,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't post pages of your
He,
discovery. Don't give them any pages
okay.
because then they start,
You can tell them about it, but I wouldn't show them what you got because
yeah,
yeah,
discuss
they're
it
going
all
to
you want.
copy it, use it, go with it, and
But
claim it as their
Yep.
own. Don't give
They
them
can
that.
also
They've
learn
been
from
doing
it
it. Yeah.
because the
Mhm.
page numbers on yours are very different than the page
Yeah.
numbers
is that
on.
true? I didn't even know.
They've been stealing your content and Mensa's
Yep.
for I don't know how long. Both of y'all. They just have.
And here's the thing: you don't have to prove whatever. You
Mhm.
can just tell them it's from Discovery. People who like you and who watch you, they know you're honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of times that's what freezes or like if our mama's up there, it kicks her out. You know, it has a hard time, the computer and StreamYard.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't show them your Discovery because there are just a few people who have the actual Discovery,
Hmm.
and I think it's better to keep it that way.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got a channel creator like AD looking for it. Oh, I got to tell you guys something. I got to tell you guys something. I don't know if I should say this. Yeah, I'll say it.
Go ahead.
One of AD's, sorry, one of AD's, whatever they are, I don't know. You know how he has, like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
counts on, like, certain.
Oh, and then we'll have to tell you about that wasn't me on there. There's somebody with the same name.
No, the one of his, like, trusted people
Oh.
Hmm. Oh.
emailed me today and
Oh.
said
Oh.
said the most wonderful things.
Oh.
Okay. They know damn well I sit over here going, yeah, I think AD's probably controlled opposition, or yeah, AD's whatever, right? They know, but they also know that I tell honestly what I think. Um, but at the same time, I went up on his panel. He treated me with respect. I treated him with respect because he
Hmm.
and I can definitely unite about the fact that we don't deserve to be attacked by a bunch of psychos. So
That's true.
one of his top people that he speaks very highly of who works for him, he
Yes.
sent me the most beautiful email today about what's hit the fan in the true crime community right now.
Hmm.
She was very encouraging. She was very cool. I mean, she really wrote a very compassionate email, basically
Oh,
sticking
that's
up for women
nice.
and sticking up for our right to not be treated like shit by a scumbag.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very nice. Yeah.
I was really pleased. I thought that was a
That
class
was
act.
yeah, I'm really glad to hear that. I've
You know,
never heard AD ever attack anybody. Never did. He's always
exactly.
respectful.
Well, he has said some ridiculous things. He has more of a subtle passive aggressive way, but
Yes, I like English because they can insult you in a very classy way then.
yeah, exactly. It's just like a southern girl saying, "Oh, well, that haircut looks fine to me if it's fine for you." And then I don't
Yeah.
think she liked my haircut, you know.
That's funny.
Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead. I picked up Elvis singing "My Way." Let's do
Hmm.
the "My Way" song and let's say goodnight to chat.
Okay.
And uh, I think the salmon dinners are going to give me a really good night's sleep. So let's do that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys both hopped right up here. Like I said before, let's
thank you.
I'll try with winter time coming. I'll try to be more um, available to be doing live chats. I might try to keep them a little bit shorter during the week, though. And then I think we're onto something here. I think Christopher Watts was moving out. I think they were all moving out. I don't think his wife was supposed to come back.
Yeah, it was weird because it just seemed those words came to me like that Billy Joel song. How have you been out? Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're onto something, and I think that probably if they keep on getting attacked because they've only been doing it for 4 years. There you have it. But I think that if we can basically just mentally flip all of them off and then pray for them and hope that they get the help they need.
Yeah. If somebody is negative, yeah, you're supposed to send them white light. It's blinding if they're dark.
Mhm.
That's really, it's just be true. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, it's not gonna make me feel better,
Mhm.
sending them negatively. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Well, I'm not kidding when I say I think Jay should learn from Justin. Justin
yeah.
knows how to be a
That's
man.
actually that's a compliment actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and Justin, I think, is one of the scumbag attackers, and he knows. I think that. I think he's a friend of you know whose. I think he's a little buddy with Christopher Ross' brother-in-law.
Hmm.
They know each other, and I think they're friends. I could be way out there. I don't care if I am, but
Mm.
that's the vibe I get. I think he's got that kind of vibe to him. But at the same time, he's actually a good father. He's actually a good person. He's actually got a
Yeah.
heart.
No, he's a good person. He is.
He's got a heart of gold. So
Yeah.
I mean, through the years, there have been scumbag attackers who are actually nice people.
Yeah.
Daniel Bishop was one. He was a total asshole. He made Dave look like a good person, and man,
Wow.
he realized what he
And
was doing.
he got really good looking. When he
What he
stopped. You
did
ever
was
notice that people get really nice looking when they get rid of that poison and so I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
exactly right. He left the
he's a
darkness.
nice looking guy. Yeah.
He
Uh,
was he was filling himself and his home and his relationships with toxins because he was full of bullshit. And once he
I
realized
had no idea. Wow.
once he
I
realized what he was doing was wrong,
wow.
that the scumbags told him not to worry about attacking me. They told him I was not a real person. And so the whole
What?
he's attacking me. He was
They
told I was
don't not a real person? I mean, what do they think you
told I,
were?
well, they're all a bunch of actors, Mia. They're all a bunch of actors. So he was told that I was just some kind of actor and
J.R.R. Tolkien.
that they were okay to be attacking me. Not, don't worry, she's not a real person. He found
Yeah.
out that I'm a real person and that I was being attacked and that this was not okay. And he put a stop to it. He
Oh, that's
exposed,
nice.
and as
Wow.
soon as he did,
Mhm.
his
Yeah.
health improved, his relationships improved, his mind was clearer, his life turned around as soon as he stopped being evil.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the difference. I didn't know him then, but I knew he was having like problems because I watched one video
Yep,
and it was family problems. And this case, I think there's evil attached to it. Okay, I
there definitely
honestly
is.
do.
There definitely is. You
And
have to definitely protect yourself when
Yeah.
you're
you
talking
have
about
to,
this stuff.
yes.
You have to protect
And
yourself.
that's why I don't care about the views. It's not about that. And it's something I always never exalt yourself over this case because it will make you humble somehow.
Well,
And I really am.
I think that the evil is far less powerful than they want to think they are. And I think that's part of what they hate about
Oh
me.
yeah. Oh, I'm not afraid. Oh well, I don't know if I should I say what happened last night. Sorry, mom.
Huh? Oh, I
You
don't. Oh, about what you seen in the camera. That was kind of creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, if
couple of
it's
times,
creepy, don't. If it's
Yeah.
creepy, don't.
but
Because
it wasn't evil though. I
No,
do
no.
think it was a
we've got,
spirit guy.
we've got
Did you
people in the
the
chat
hand?
who are really sensitive to certain things. We have a couple of pregnant ones and stuff.
No.
And so I don't want to entertain that
Right. I
right
Okay.
here.
understand.
Um,
Right.
But I do believe that there's a lot of evil going on. I think that a lot of the people who are involved with the attacks, I think, have a lot of demons and a lot of
Yeah.
I
trauma.
used
That
to walk in the cemetery when I was pregnant. Isn't that weird? And with the Rottweiler,
oh, I
I
don't
did.
know. I think walking
But
in cemeteries is cool.
Yeah.
uh,
Never bothered me, you know.
Yeah,
yeah,
those are
yeah.
they're
Um,
nice places to walk because you don't have a bunch of weirdos trying to act like they're sporty.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, yeah. It was peaceful. Yeah, that's what I did to exercise and clear my mind because there's not a lot you can do when you're pregnant.
Well,
Yeah.
when I was
But
pregnant, I worked.
well, I was working. I should, but they wanted back then they had mandated overtime and 45 hours. They're like, oh no, that's not considered. I don't know what they were saying. Um, like what? And I was a charge nurse, but I
Wow.
Wow,
wanted to work up until the end.
Yeah.
I know what you mean as far as exercise because when I got pregnant the first time, I had a dirt bike. It was
Mm-hmm.
an enduro, which means you take it on the
Oh
road.
gosh, a dirt bike. Oh my gosh.
Well, you take it on the road and take it on the on in the dirt.
Wow.
It's a nice one. I still have my cycle endorsement. It was a Yamaha, and I bought it brand new. The only reason I bought it brand new is because my husband bought his brand new Yamaha, and I hopped right on the back of it, right? And we went about 3 blocks before I was hitting him on the shoulder saying, "Take me back, take me back." And so we hopped in the car and he took me up to the motorcycle place, and I bought my own because I thought I don't want to ride behind him. I just like I wanted to have my own. So anyway, I used to do that like for exercise and fun and whatever. And then he and I played tennis all the time. We were like constantly playing tennis. And when I
Oh,
got
that's
pregnant,
really good. I'm sorry.
huh?
That's very good. That's very good to do that.
When I got pregnant, I remember saying to my OBGYN, well, actually, we found out that we were pregnant because I popped a wheelie and I had my husband on the back of my bike and I popped a wheelie and when I came down, I kind of flew over the handlebars and he caught the bike with the he burned his leg on the muffler.
Oh
It
gosh.
wasn't
Oh,
so, but I flew over the top of the handlebars, and
whoa.
because when I didn't know how to pop a wheelie, why we were popping wheelies, I have no idea. But he weighed a lot more than me, so it was stupid for me to be pop. The whole thing was ridiculous. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I went to the doctor because I went in for like my regular checkup, and my neck really hurt from when I fell. I
Oh
was
my
really,
god.
I wondered if I hurt my neck, and my doctor tested me whatever for being pregnant, and he came back in the room and he goes, "No more dirt bike for the next." I think it was like 8 months. No more dirt bike for the next 8 months. I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Because I had no clue I was pregnant until he told me. So
Wow.
then I'm like, can I still play tennis? And he's like, yes. The way he said it was any activity, any sport that you were involved in before you got pregnant was safe to do when you were pregnant, but not to go out there and try to take on a new sport, you know?
Yeah.
So, but he said
Yeah.
no biking, none. Because, especially, I guess, if I'm going to go flying over the handlebars.
Oh my god. I mean, I'll put like a leather jacket on, and people think, oh no, I'm afraid of death of bikes. Like
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't, I don't know.
Well, did you ever crash or anything?
No, it's just I don't know. It's just one of my fears.
Well, have you always been a passenger on one?
Um, I wrote maybe like once or twice. Once was somebody that didn't ride very well. I'm not. They just scare me. Like I don't know. I think I'd probably be better if it was just me.
Right.
know,
If you were the one
with
driving it,
control.
because I'll tell you, like my ex is a good driver and everything, but there's no way I wanted to be behind him on a motorcycle. I was just like, seriously, take me back.
Right. I mean, I love stick shift. Like I love driving cars.
Yeah, I bet if you rode your own motorcycle, you'd really like it. It's comfortable, it's fun, it's like I don't know, it's just really well.
Peacefully. I bet it is.
I have a convertible. It's the same thing when I put the top down on my car.
Oh
I hear a cricket. Who's got a cricket in
yeah.
their house?
I'm outside.
Oh, good.
That's a,
Okay, 'cause I'm looking around, going, there better not be a cricket in the house.
oh, I was looking at the moon.
Do you hear a cricket where you are?
Yes, it's here.
Good. I feel better then, because I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the cricket? But no, I think if you know someone who has a bike, you should have them teach you how to drive it yourself and just take it for a little spin, and you're gonna love it, Mia.
Oh yeah.
Like your hair can just like fly. It's just like the convertible. It's
Wow.
fun. How
Yeah.
about you, Sarah Mama? Do you like motorcycles?
Yes. Well, I worked in a biker bar, so I guess so.
All right, so you're a biker
Yeah.
chick then.
Yeah. Years and years ago, sure did.
Well,
Yeah.
I I got on the back of the one bike. I mean, the head guy. I just knew him as Pops. The
Yeah.
pig. He's like,
Hmm.
get on the back. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But they, drove really well.
Yeah. The guys that come in where I work, they were all very polite gentlemen.
They
Um,
were nice
they weren't
people.
anything like what a lot of people portray out there.
Right,
These guys were very respected. Yes.
Yes.
stereotype. The stereotype is all wrong. The nicest people there are bikers.
Yes.
Very nice
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Even
They would
those of
never.
us.
They don't put up with men disrespecting women. I can tell
No,
you
they
that.
don't.
Exactly.
Mm,
At least
Exactly
the
right.
ones I knew.
Exactly right.
mm.
I always felt protected around them.
Yes, me too.
I'm still looking for a cricket.
And
Just
you don't ask them questions.
You're looking that. I bet is that Emia? Is that your crickets outside by your pond?
yeah, that's what she
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Hmm.
You guys,
But
we're
no,
funny.
they're really nice people.
We're
Others too.
funny. We can talk, man. We can really talk.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see. What time is it? It's after 11. We've been
Yeah.
talking for three hours and 45 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Still have to go through and really pick and choose what they want to say, right?
really. I think we should
Oh
say.
my.
I think we should say we love you, Lana. We love you, Dave.
Yeah.
Grow up. Stop being mean. Apologize. Be nice. Hop up on our panel and let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's all be adults.
Hmm.
Oh,
That'd be
where did
nice.
Mia go?
I don't know unless you went to check on her crickets.
Well, it sounded like Teddy was
Yeah.
talking too.
Hmm.
So
He's
yeah,
probably
Sarah.
waking up wanting attention. Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah said that went fast. That went quick.
Mhm.
What song do you want, Star Mama? How about "My Way" from Elvis, or
That's
is
fine. That's fine with
that
me.
one good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of fading fast here, so let's go ahead and say thank you for being here. Thanks, Star Mama, for hopping right up.
Oh, nice to be here. Thanks everybody for coming in the chat, being realistic and nice and
Did you
full of
notice we didn't have any
information.
idiots? Did you notice that we had no idiots at all in the chat tonight?
No, we didn't. Mm-mm.
None. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it that way. And it's kind of funny too because they were so busy yesterday. They probably all got, I don't know, how's that work? If they're on a 3-day manic, then they got to crash and burn,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're probably like recovering from their manic three
Hmm.
days. So, okay, but I'll go ahead and play Elvis My Way. And I want to say to everyone, be safe, be healthy, be happy. Don't forget to take your vitamin D. And I want each and every one of you to know that you are always, or no, I want each and every one of you to always know that you are loved. Good night,
Exactly.
everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye,
Good night,
guys.
Sarah Mama.
Good night.
Now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, which I'm certain I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every byway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exception. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, without doubt, I ended up spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing. Think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not. You say the word, he truly feels, and nothing will the record shows I took the blows and did it my way. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.